Okay, so we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to Mythic Odysseys of Theros. It is a time of myth and legend when the age of the world was measured in mere centuries and not millennia. In the time before history, empires of archons, Medusa, and giants ruled over a world enslaved until the gods arose to overthrow the titans, casting them down into the underworld. The gods then turned to lend aid to the mortal races, helping them overthrow their supernatural masters. 4 great human civilizations arose from the ashes of prehistory: Miletus, Akros, Olanton, and Setessa. But war soon clouded the human heart, and for a generation Akros and Olanton battled across the Siren Sea, until the sun god Heliod struck Olanton from the face of the world for an unknown offense. Centuries later, an era of relative peace grips the remaining nations of Theros. You have been tasked to deliver a letter for a wealthy astrologer in Oxus named Eurymaides. The recipient is a world-famous philosopher named Anapsi, who lives in the idyllic seaside village of Krymnos. I'm going to need everyone to roll some initiative.
15.
Well actually, plus to that.
Okay.
14.
So, Demos is 2. 70 is number 1. And what was your character's name?
Alia. A-L-I-A.
A-L-I-A. Like Alia the knife. So you're smack dab in the middle. So 1,
And what's your character name?
2,
Demos.
3.
Demos?
Okay.
I constantly think Phobos every time he says Demos.
Alright, so as I say, y'all have all been tasked by this guy Eurymaides to go to this town and deliver a letter. He's willing to pay for transportation, so you have a choice of: did you trek all the way by land with a cart and wagon and a driver, or did you have a boat zip you across the bay to the town of Krymnos? Y'all need to come up with this answer together.
Don't do boats.
Don't do boats?
Don't do boats.
It's a little dicey sometimes, because if you sink, can you swim?
Centaurs can swim. They can actually swim, but not very well.
And not in the middle of a bay, obviously.
Yeah. No, she just doesn't like, nope, not crossing the bay.
I'm okay with going by cart.
That's fine.
It's safer.
Alright.
Persuadable.
Then y'all get control of Elsha the Wanderer, a gruff, cheerless, sour and moody satyr who drives the cart, and the horse she has is named Nixie. One of y'all can basically use her as a auxiliary NPC. She's sort of part of your party, but y'all can also just like ignore her and just have her stay with the cart and never take her along with anything. It's kind of your call. If you do that, she'll leave after a week if you don't use her to go back to Oxus.
Yeah.
So
Let the tank have a backup.
People.
she's
That's not very good. Short fall.
she's pretty dexterous. Not the
How tall is your
wisest.
character again?
No, she's the most plain Jane of all of the 2 sidekicks you could have chosen. But you didn't want to take the boat.
Is that setting specific too?
No, it was just part of the conversation we're having earlier. The thief doesn't know how tall he is.
Has spent too much time away from
Pick
civilization.
a height. You're human. You can be whatever height a human can be.
6'2".
Alright.
Then we were right. The centaur is actually the shortest character in the party.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What
Okay, so we need to
6
figure
foot,
out
600 pounds.
Dang.
what time of year it is. We're just going to randomly generate the month. Demos. Roll a die 12.
4.
April.
Alright, well no, because I start their year at spring, not the middle of winter, so March, April, May. It's effectively June, the beginning of June, the month of Polydryson.
June in Greece. It's still warm.
Yeah. Okay, roll 5 die 6 for the day of the month, Alia.
Oh, I got 3 handy, so that's 15. 21.
So it's the 21st day of the month of Polydryson. And what time of day of it? 70. Roll a die 4.
4.
Alright.
Sorry.
You roll a 6.
3.
Okay, so it's morning on the 21st day of Polydryson, as you roll up in your little cart to the town of Krymnos. So on this little map here, y'all have been coming from this direction, coming from the city of Metis, and coming in, passing through some quaint little picturesque farms. And the first area of town is basically kind of called the Public. It's a little bit of like a town park. There's several large buildings. One of which is the Agora. Agora is kind of a walled, open town market. They don't really have shops in this town. Instead, like various local vendors will come and have a little stall kind of stuff. It's also where like public figures will hold meetings, and where like philosophers and their students will come and have discussions and stuff. It's kind of an all-purpose public square. There is also a small gymnasium/arena, and there is a small amphitheater. If you would like to stop by any of these places, or try to make a simple...
We're looking for a philosopher,
Yeah,
so let's go to the amphitheater.
Can we get the name of that philosopher again?
Anapse. A-N-A-P-S-E. The founder of the Anapsian School of Philosophy, which is all about learning to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and not quite being so stoic.
Alright, so go to the amphitheater, because they should know where this guy's at.
Okay, so we're going to roll a random amphitheater encounter. Demos, since you got the lowest initiative for this session, you'll be rolling most of our encounters, because basically the person with the worst luck controls the luck of the group. So, roll a dice 6.
I like those odds.
1.
Alright.
That's either really good or really bad.
I know.
And if he's as wily as a DM as I usually am, it may be both. Depending on the chart.
Okay, the amphitheater is empty. There's no like business there. There are let's see. Oh, I guess we should roll for that. There's a total of 5 cloaked figures milling about the foot of the stage. I'm trying to find a little map thing of. They have one for amphitheaters.
Oh, you're looking at the map?
Here we go.
I just want to see what it is.
So by way of example, cut into the side of a little hill, you got the seating area and stuff. You come in through the main and back entrance. Everything's dark. There doesn't seem to be like any work crew or stuff. There's a little group of about 5 guys wearing cloaks so you can't see their features, milling about around the foot of the stage as you enter.
As a rogue, I'm very skeptical of people in cloaks.
Yeah.
I just trot on over because that's probably people that work here are actors or something.
Could I make a perception check? Nothing specific. Just want to make sure there's nothing weird about them, like any maybe weapons that I can see.
Make a perception check.
12. Plus 2. And do I have... Yes, I do. It's plus 6, so 18.
Okay, you catch a glimpse of some light reflecting off a golden surface, and it causes you to turn, and over in the corner, the eaves of the curtains, back, where they have a little drop thing to bring cargo and props up and down behind the stage, you see a tall, menacing figure, not wearing a cloak, just having this, kind of like one of those, like, barbaric strap kind of things over his chest and a loincloth, and wearing this golden mask.
Mm.
Like a Greek theater kind of mask, you know.
Do you think I could identify the nature of the mask? Like what it possibly means with an intelligence check?
With an Arcana check or a religion check, perhaps.
Ooh, I'd roll low, but I can try.
Okay.
2.
Okay, no, it's just dude in a golden mask. As you walk, you call attention to your companions, like, hey, check out this guy in the corner.
Yeah, actually. What should I say? Something along the lines of like, he's kind of like, he's not a lion in many words.
You can point them out. You can point them out to them so that they can just look
point
and
over
see.
and I
It's
say,
not like
Can I go ahead and make a perception check?
Yeah, actually, you need to make a religion check with advantage.
Okay.
That's 2
I've got +3 on religion,
You got this.
so that's a
You
19.
roll twice.
Well, you take the highest of the
Right,
2,
right,
yeah,
right,
because
right.
advantage you get 2 die. Either way, you take the
Yeah,
higher of the
okay.
2.
So 19.
Okay, you recognize this dude as, because of your piousness and training and knowledge of the cult of Phenax, this is one of the returned. This is what the returned look like. These are people who have died but have managed to crawl their way back out of the underworld to regain life, but they lose all their facial features and they wear these masks instead. And they're generally associated with sinister things, but you are a Phenax cultist yourself, and Phenax is basically the first of the return, because that's his whole shtick. That's how he became a god, was he was the first one to escape the underworld, and everyone who has done so is following his path in a way. So, from your point of view, this might not necessarily be a negative that this guy's here.
Is there some kind of like secret sign that I can identify that I'm a member of the cult?
Yeah, I would say you could make like a basic, like a simple DC 10 religion check to like give them some sort of like passcode, or you say something from a text, you know, some sort of holy words that they would recognize, like, oh, you're part of the Brotherhood. You know, they hit secret handshake.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to do that yet. I want to consult with. So are you waiting?
I was going to make a perception check, and I was waiting to...
Okay, so you still want to make a perception check. Are you percepting the returned guy, or are you going to be checking out the people at the base of the stage?
I'll check the people at the base of the stage.
Okay.
That's where I was heading originally.
Alright, just to beat a DC 10.
17.
Okay. Despite being cloaked and not wearing like martial type outfits, they also, you can catch the glimpse under the hood that they also have that golden mask thing on. So apparently this is a whole little group of returned.
Are we walking in a group, sort of like little tight?
That's up to y'all. Y'all do have to come through like the narrow entryway, and then you get up to the kind of the
I was already
stage
trotting,
area. And
I was already trotting their direction, so...
I think I want to take the front of the group, just to sort of guard the 2.
All right. So if we approach them, I need to let them know that I'm a member of the cult. Otherwise, this could probably turn out.
I'm trying to figure out what skill...
poorly for
They're all
us.
insights to figure out if this is normal for them to hang around a place like this, you know. Are they part of the... Because I would think she would know something about this, because we're philosophers and...
Yeah, and also like having like being part of the entertainment industry, so to say. Sure.
So insight +5. That's an 18.
Okay, judging that, you get a closer look at the robes that, in spite of the mask thing, or even maybe with the mask thing, they're kind of dressed like as you would expect the chorus for a theater troupe would be dressed. They just be
It wouldn't be unusual to see them here.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
The masks, like, they normally don't wear golden masks like that. That's the thing that stands out. And after catching a glimpse of the guy that he spotted over in the corner, that's a bit of a thing, but they look like just a normal part of the theater presentation. They'd be the people in the back, you know, singing.
Well, I will...
All right. Should we just go ahead and ask them where the philosopher is? But if they act weird, I'll let them know that I'm a member of
That sounds good.
What I was going to do is
the cult.
being the bard of the party.
Yeah. Go
Just
for it.
walk up and ask him, hey, we're looking for Annie Peas, or however you pronounce it.
NFC.
Anapsi. We're here to deliver a message to him.
Okay, roll a DC 8 persuasion.
Let's see, what's my persuasion? +2. Make a 14.
He lives at the top of the hill.
Sweet. Okay, that's all we need to know.
All right.
Let's head out.
Okay, let's go.
No reason
We're here to do
no
the
reason
job.
to mess around with these people.
You gotta remember, she doesn't want to be here. She doesn't want to be a hero, so she wants to get this done.
Let's get it.
Where's the top of the hill?
Okay, well, so the amphitheater is right here.
I'll leave
As you walk out, like one of them will like point.
With
and
a little
indicate
crooked finger.
there's a little villa house, one story, that's like right at the edge of the cliff, overlooking the little fisher part of the village.
Okay.
It's not one of the biggest ones,
I give them a farewell that would be appropriate for bards and party stuff.
Break a leg, guys.
Yeah, but whatever.
You're welcome.
right, let's go to the hill.
All right.
Um,
Well, it's right on the edge of the village section, so you're not really in that area enough to trigger another random encounter. You can go straight to the house. There is... It's a modest villa overlooking the village. Oh, fuck. I forgot to roll names for a couple of these people. Where is my Sapphires Guide? To instantaneously not have to make up something Greek.
it's all Greek to me.
I assume that the common language is Greek.
Well,
makes
while he's
sense.
looking it up, this is based off a Magic the Gathering world, and no, it's not.
Okay, yeah, there's a pretty blonde secretary, I guess medieval Greek version of secretary named Callista, spelled with a K, who greets y'all at the entry to the house. It's one of those buildings that's got a kind of a central courtyard with a nice little fountain and a little garden, and all the rooms and whatnot kind of built into the outer perimeter.
Hello,
What can I do for you today, sirs?
we're looking for Anapezi. We have a message from what's the guy's name?
Euramides.
We have a message from Euramides, and we got the impression we should probably wait for a reply.
Okay, well, come inside, and I'll go seek my master and tell him that he's got a message.
Alright, I'm kind of glancing around to see if anything looks weird.
It's a pleasant house for a wealthy person that you would expect. It's not one of the largest buildings in the town. It's like a lot of white marble, little statues here and there, knickknacks. From a thief's point of view, I mean, there are some pretty things that could be jacked in the middle of the night, possibly. There's a kitchen over on one side. You can see a satyr, who apparently is the household cook, bustling around in there, and there's also a human housekeeper, as well as the secretary.
I say hi to the satyr and Sullivan.
Any places where I can just sit down, keep watch, like the general.
No, like she leads you into the central courtyard. She has y'all wait for a second, and she goes off through some curtains. And a moment later, she comes back with an older man, balding, wispy hair, kind of Jean-Luc Picard, kind of like crest of hair around the back of his head. Wearing a nice, like, dark, rich blue, like, belted tunic kind of thing, and sandals. And,
Greetings, great master. We are here. I am Alia of the Lexan tribe, Lagona tribe. We've been sent with a message. She's very respectful because, of course, she said she's like Aristotle.
Okay, well, if you'll hand over the letter, I assume.
Give it to him.
He'll take it. He pops the seal and unscrolls it, because obviously it's Greece, so letters aren't folded. Everything's in little tiny scrolls and shit. And he reads it, and he gets kind of a troubled look on his face, and he's like, okay, if you are willing, if you come back in the morning, I'll have a reply for you to take back to Euramides.
Okay.
Do you have any recommendation on lodgings?
This town doesn't really have any inns or anything. You could potentially get some of the other nobles to maybe take you in for a night. I mean, the traditions of hospitality being what they are in this age. Or you can go to the Agora. They allow people to, travelers and traders can sleep in the open air pavilion at night after.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
Centaurs don't like sleeping in buildings anyway.
Yeah.
She's like, okay.
I'm used to sleeping outside anyway.
Sounds good.
He goes back into his office with the letter. Y'all are shown to the door. You have the whole day basically ahead of you, because it's only morning, so you can either just say that you're going to rest and wait at the Agora until the next day, or you can poke around the town as you see fit.
I'd like to. Do I smell or see anything that seems to indicate that there's a scroll making? And
There's a what going on?
her profession is a scribe and everything.
As I said, there's nothing really quite like that. There is a temple to the sun god Heliod in the center of the villa on top of the hill that kind of overlooks everything.
No library or anything.
There's no library. Various people living there might have their own private little archives and whatnot,
Is
but,
it a little
but nothing
populated?
public like that.
I'm not
There's
gonna
about
poke.
120 people living there, mostly human and a small handful of satyrs.
Does it
About
seem pretty humble?
Yeah, it's an idyllic little town that's like half fishers and half like wealthy people and winemakers.
Ooh, fish.
I'm not too keen to go in the temple because I'm wanted in like 99 temples.
Okay. I mean, you could
Alia kind of looks at you like,
this and that. Okay.
99 problems and they're all temples.
you could try going back to the amphitheater perhaps to see like what's going on with the return thing, since you do have the Phoenix connection.
actually,
Or-
that would be kind of cool. Alia would like to. Alia would like to go because she's a bard.
Is Elsha still with us?
Our satyr friend running around with us.
Yeah, that is a question. Do you want to be having her with you, or do you want her to just stay with the wagon?
I prefer for her to stay with the wagon to watch the horses, just make sure things can be kept. We can also leave like a lot of the bulk of our items in the wagon, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay,
we can walk
so-
around,
You don't have a bulk of items quite yet, anyway, though.
No, I got my.
I'm a centaur. I carry everything.
So maybe we should set up a
a camp.
little spot in the Agora if that's where we're staying.
Well, the Agora is probably where
Secure
we
that.
should go stay.
Okay.
But yeah, just have a
Yeah.
little spot.
But Alia is really keen on visiting the theater because, of course, like I said, she's bardy.
Yeah, my Sebney's never actually seen any, because he's from a tribe, so he's never actually seen anything that like theatrical. So something like that may arouse his attention.
Not sure if my friends will follow me, but I'm gonna go poke my nose around the.
Yeah, I'll follow
Okay,
it.
so you're going to go to the amphitheater first?
Yeah, just kind of
Right.
poke
All
around.
right. Since you're leading the way this time, you get to roll a d6 to see what's there. What's going on now?
We're
by the time you get
leaving-
back. A 3. Okay, there's
Yeah.
a small performance,
We're leaving Elsha.
like a late morning performance of the play called the Calafia. It's a big, long, poetic saga about a famous sea captain of a ship called the Monsoon that had helped mapped out a good chunk of the East Coast and had first discovered the Dakra Islands and part of the West.
I say
And
we
stuff
sit down
like
and
that.
watch it. That's what Alia wants.
Is it a stone's throw from the wagon? Or
Yeah, the wagon's like say out here, parked on the edge of the public somewhere.
Is there enough time for me to go ditch my things?
If you want,
All right, I'm gonna go back to.
you'll
my-
miss like most of the play.
Fuck it, I'll just stick through it because I got like my quiver, my armor, my longbow, my mace, all this shit on me.
So does Alia.
explore-
She's just gonna walk over and just
Damn it.
sit down and watch it.
my spear. Like, hey guys.
Like I said, she's
Sure,
got
watch
her,
a-
she's got her rapier, her dagger, her shield, and her spear, and all of her equipment on her back.
It's common in these days to just have a door and a weapon, I assume.
Well, it's a small theater troupe. You see those same those chorus guys in the back doing like what choruses do, and which in Greek theater is not quite the same as like modern gospel church choruses kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and more the sound.
They're like singing along the narration kind of stuff, and but like the rest of the troupe seems normal. There's one Triton amongst them. As far as performances goes, it's not the best performance of the Calafia you've ever seen, but it's
Well, it's the only one I've ever
Is
seen.
it a play? Is it a play I would know with my history? And
So-
everything?
Or
yeah, it's one of the 3 most popular sagas that are told on the.
I'm not that interested in stagecraft, and I'm just more looking
just
around for
sitting there.
anything suspicious the whole time.
just sitting
Anybody
there.
that would do what I would do if I wasn't.
I'm
with a
actually
party.
completely transfixed on the performance.
Yeah.
Just almost like I'm listening to a storyteller.
Okay, so you're paying attention, you're paying attention. You're looking around. Roll another perception check.
Okay, +2. 13. 11 plus 1.
Off to the side of the stage, like not on the stage itself, and kind of past where the seating rafters are, you can see that masked guy again, the one with the cross bandolier outfit on, staring at you, or at least you assume staring at you since he's wearing a mask. But the eye slits are pointed in your direction, and he's just perfectly still and staring and seeming to be
He
watching.
recognizes you.
All right, I'm gonna try and see if I can make some kind of culty hand signal or something.
Okay, make a religion check. Make some sort of sign of Phoenix.
Okay, I got a plus
Just throwing up gang
religion.
signs in the theater.
No one's paying attention to it.
13 plus 3, 16.
East side, motherfucker.
You roll a what?
16.
Okay, that's good enough to
Got
he
his
nods
feature.
at you and then kind of does this motion with his head, and he kind of starts walking off a little bit around the side of the hill.
Alright, I'm like,
You want to let us know
I'm
before?
gonna do this. I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. I saw this guy again.
Where are you going?
I don't know. So if I don't come back, it's
What
probably
do you
not
mean?
good. That weird guy that we saw before, he motioned to me.
Should I accompany you?
No, he's a member of my cult. Might be safer if there's no non-cultists.
Alright, be safe.
Alright.
She's just kind of looking at you like you're nuts.
And what was your name again? It was
Demos.
Demos and
Alia.
Alia. Alright.
Without being too obvious, I'll keep an eye on where he goes.
I inform you as well.
Yeah.
Demos
Well, I mean, I was
is-
sitting right there next to him, so I heard me.
Well, a little ways off to the side of where the hill's been cut into to form the seating, there's a couple little bushes, and there's a little obscure kind of door that you might not have noticed if the guy hadn't directly led you around the corner to look at it, because there's like some rocks and some trees and foliage in the way. And he walks in to this door that's kind of just cuts into the hill and looks like it goes down. Are you going to follow afterwards?
32 minutes
Am I
into the
about to
game,
break
and
the
we
number
about-
one
we're
rule?
about to do the number one rule. Don't split the party.
Oh shit!
It's too interesting not to go in though.
It's
Oh,
an interesting,
man.
I like the kind of scene if you think about it visually, though. You're in town, you got the day to kill, you're watching a play, and he wanders off to, like,
Yeah.
some cult mysteries going on.
Okay. Okay. Alia is too smart. She gets up and follows.
Alright.
With a 16 intelligence, she's too smart. She's like, okay.
How about
not
make an
smart.
intelligence save to see if she's too smart, and not just declare it?
Wait. 16. 5, so by 11 points.
Ooh.
No, the save is like, you roll.
Oh, it's plus 3, so 8.
Yeah. No, you're not smart enough. You're enraptured by, you're critiquing how bad these guys are doing this play.
And I'm just trying to I'm just paying attention.
You're like a YouTuber watching an episode of Star Trek made by CBS All Access, and you can't. Like, I know there's something better's going on, but this is pissing me off so much.
Ah.
Okay, you're doomed.
Okay. So you're gonna follow him down?
Alright, I'm gonna follow him down.
All right. It's a narrow little stair cut right into the hill. It kind of corkscrews down a little bit, makes a turn and another turn, and then there's another door, like an old kind of wooden rounded top door. He opens it up and holds it open, and you see like some halls and some rooms off the side and a well-lit torch. It's not dirty and dank or anything. Everything looks well swept and well kept. You'd think the angle of it's kind of underneath the theater.
Never get out of line of sight of the healer.
I'm gonna go in through the door.
Welcome, brother, to the
Curious
Temple of
about it.
Phenax.
Oh jeez.
And
it's right
because
beneath-
I'm extremely pious, so like if this is
You're on your
the
own,
real
I'm-
deal, I have to follow up. I live for this.
You're on your own. I'm writing a really nasty review of this freaking play. Okay,
I'm just having a great time, just like this huge line, laughing like this.
Yeah, you wandered
Let
off.
us
You
see
wandered
what
off
this
away from both of the healers.
I'm having a really good time.
Okay.
So I say,
You see Alia grumbling under her breath.
greetings, brother. Thank you for your hospitality. I am in town briefly. I am just a humble adventurer, but I am a great servant of Phoenix. Is there any way I can be of service to you today?
Now, the master of this temple is currently busy right now entertaining the common crowds, but perhaps later he would be willing to speak to you. I am known as Krios, and you are
I am Demos of Citrium.
Demos of Citrium. Are you the boy that escaped the labyrinth of Scophos? Your name is known. Yes, I'm sure that Alias, that is the name of the theater director, would be willing to speak with you later this evening. after he's done with the day's entertainment.
Very good. I will see if I will arrange my affairs and return later this evening. Where should I meet him?
You can come down here. You've been shown the way. After sunset, he will be in his quarters in the underlevel here, so. And his name is Alias Aelius.
Thank you. I shall return later. I bid you farewell for now, for I need to seek my companions.
Alright. Well, you've found the location of the hidden gambling den / Temple of Phoenix underneath the theater in town.
Of course, the thief would find that.
Which could or could not be helpful. Alright, so, play goes on. I mean, it's a long-winded Greek play. I mean, this thing can drag on like a good chunk of the day.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
I'm just thinking about how glad I am that I actually followed that guy instead of having to watch this drivel.
You get back and
torture.
you're like, oh god. When it finally comes to an end, like some of the actors are like talking to the kids who are watching it from the morning crowd and stuff up front, and otherwise like everyone just kind of mills off and goes about their day. Do you want to go to another location? Do you want to try to talk to any more of the theater people, or do you feel like you've already established as much contact as necessary for now?
I'm a little thrilled from just watching the play, and I kind of want to see more of the city just because it seems.
It's like I said, it's a little town.
Seems more engaging. I wasn't I wasn't so excited before that event. Are there any people that I can talk to, just like strangers, just to ask like if there are any other places we could visit for like little sites or whatever, or something, maybe like
you can talk to like a random person like leaving from the crowd or something, and they'll mention what I already said. You have a gymnasium that has a small arena in it, where if you want, you can like sign up for arena fights or place bets on fights that are there, or just get your general like workout and public bath needs taken care of at the gymnasium. There's the Agora, where people, one of the town's big draws is the fact that Anapsi, by living here, has brought in a bunch of other philosophers who like to come and argue with him. Anapsi used to be like the head philosopher who was in charge of the entire city of Miletus until he retired, but he's still like... people will come far and wide to come chat with the guy, and so there's often, even if he's not there, there's other philosophers having debates and stuff in the Agora.
Well, before I do that, because that's what I want to do, but before I do that, I want to rack my brain and see if there's any if there's any history to this town that I might know. If it's famous for anything other than just a philosopher popped down.
So I've already found all the cool stuff in the city, so I'm just gonna like kind of watch their backs while.
Make a roll and see what you get, and I'll determine what kind of information you get.
23.
23, okay. Kremnos is like one of the earliest colonies of Miletus. After Miletus, the city was founded. It was originally just only a fishing village, and fairly unremarkable history up until recently. After Naps retired here, a lot of like wealthy nobles and their families relocated. You're looking around, you can start to tell that like the amphitheater and the gymnasium are fairly recent constructions. And also, the town is starting to develop a reputation for being a source of high-quality wines. But that used to not be a thing. This, for the longest time, was just a podunk.
The old money's moved in.
Yeah. And all because a celebrity decided to move to town. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to go look for those philosophers.
Yeah. All right.
I will look.
A philosopher bard is going to go find...
Yeah. I will.
Which is going to bore the hell out of you, but you're going to be like, probably, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Crime is everywhere. There's always danger in every corner.
It's not the right time for crime, though. So let's say it's about mid-afternoon by the time y'all are done watching this long play and having your brief meeting with Krios, the Returned. So the Agora's location for local and visiting merchants. Weapons are only available for purchase if you have the right random encounter. Livestock is only available during the last week of every month, and that's not quite there, so no one's there selling livestock. There's an acolyte who tends to a shrine of Ephara, who is the goddess of cities and magic, and is like the patron saint of the entire Milesian civilization.
Oddly enough, not interested.
And let's see, there will be 1 die 4 plus 1. There are 5 philosophers, and I need a die 12.
Would have bored the hell out of you talking shop.
There are 5 philosophers arguing in front of 9 philosophy students, having a raucous debate between the school of Anapsianism and the other school of formalism, which is popular in the town. So basically, traditionalists versus hedonists. Kind of a discussion going on. And then roll a C, Demos, you still got the lowest initiative, so roll a D10 for our Agora encounter.
Is initiative the same as luck?
Yes and no. 1. Okay, who has the lowest passive perception?
Lowest?
Let's see, I have a passive perception.
It'd be a 10 plus your wisdom bonus.
Mine's 15 for all 3.
My wisdom's 14. Oh wait, perception?
So it's your bonus then, so it's plus 3 for wisdom, so you have a passive perception of 13.
Mine's
No, it's it's
my wisdom's +2.
Okay, so it'd be 12, and yours is wisdom plus 2, 12.
Mine's wisdom plus...
It comes between the two of you. Okay, Lion, make a DC 15 dexterity save.
DC 15?
Mine's actually 15. I'm not sure why the website says that, but I'll have to look it up.
9 plus...
Well, it's because my proficiency bonus. I'm proficient.
9 plus 4?
A dexterity save.
Oh, dexterity. 9 plus 3. 12.
Okay.
Do I? And I have proficiency in dex.
So another plus 2.
Yeah, that's why I got a 15, because I've got proficiency in it too, so mine's a 15.
So I got 14.
Okay. That is not high enough to beat a 15. You got pickpocketed and just lost your gold coins.
That's fine. It's just 2 gold coins.
This is, yeah.
Alright.
Pretty laissez-faire considering there's not much money in this.
That's how you react to it, eh? Like,
I mean,
oh well, I lost my money.
Could I look around?
You want to make a perception check?
Sure.
DC 20 to spot the thief in the crowd.
Passive wisdom, baby.
Any chance I might have noticed it with mine?
He hasn't alerted you to anything going on. He just got pickpocketed.
5.
Oh, alright.
I don't see him looking around.
Somebody
Do you,
took my
like-
wallet.
Okay.
DC 20
My
perception
father gave me that
skill.
wallet.
So die 20 plus whatever your perception is.
My perception
You'd expect the
is
taller...
plus 5, so 18.
Oh, nice.
Not enough.
I have
Alright.
no clue.
Thief got away. Alright.
Fine.
The girl who's designed to see things is like, I'm distracted by the philosophers. She's about to get in this debate.
Alright.
I mean, is there any chance I could get a bonus for sleight of hand or stealth instead of perception to
The thief is trying to be
see
thiefy.
the
Anti-thief.
thief
The
getting
thief is
away?
trying to be anti-thiefy.
The anti-thief.
Not really under these circumstances. It's kind of, he is the DC, he had the dexterity save to see if he noticed that he was being pickpocketed, and then failed to spot the thief, and then you failed to spot the thief.
Well,
I
I've
don't
got perception or investigation. I'll try and see if I saw anything too.
You could like just like we've done a perception check, like maybe an investigation check to like look around and see if you think anyone looks suspicious. Or maybe an insight check would work for that too.
I got a +3.
I got a plus 5 in both of those skills.
So,
I mean, it's not a...
I'm distracted by the
I
philosopher.
have an investigation
Sorry.
skill, yeah. But that's only an 8 with 5. 5 plus 3. So.
We're all distracted by the philosophers.
Yeah.
Like shit, you just
Not
clean
much.
got away with his 2 gold coins. Okay, so as I say, there's kind of 2 factions kind of arguing with each other. You have the formalists and you have the Anapsians. The Anapsians are taking the stance of people should be free to just enjoy life, and the formalists are like, no, it's duty and honor, and you know, having to like carry on tradition and all that
Based
kind of
upon
stuff.
what little I know, she would be.
Whose side are you going to take?
She would be on the new people, not the traditional.
So you're gonna join in with the Anapsians.
Yeah.
All right. So
How badly can I screw this up?
what angle are you going to use to base your argument on. Like, pick a skill and that you're going to use as the basis. Are you going to attack this from a religious angle, or attack it from a historical angle? Or are you going to use your knowledge of human nature?
Which one would the human nature one be?
Nature. Human nature.
Okay, yeah, +5.
So, like,
20.
All right, you successfully impress them and are not just dismissed as being an upstart student. You get to actually argue with the other main philosophers there. There's not really much to be accomplished with it, but it does build you a little bit of reputation with people who are important in town.
And it helps the students.
Philosophers.
Okay, so is that how you're going to spend the rest of your day?
I
You're
thought
gonna
I'm
hang
going to bro.
I'm gonna try and watch out more closely, so make sure nobody
yeah.
gets pickpocketed again.
When I realize what he does, I make sure I put my pocket in the bra strap. Basically, it's like
You guys have more cash than me, I assume.
She doesn't want to lose what little money she's got.
Yeah.
You should all be fairly broke because I'm like way denuded
You gave
the
me-
amount of gold. in
Yeah,
the
You gave me
so-
5.
Yeah.
Which I probably should write down.
I only had 2, so...
That's probably what I'm gonna do most of the day. She's in her environment, having a fat field day.
Okay.
This trip might not be. This trip might be worth it after all.
Have I tried to persuade you that we should go back after dark?
Well, after dark, obviously,
Yes,
so we go.
okay.
No, they'll be done with their. They're not gonna just like keep arguing on.
This isn't gonna be a 4 in the morning. Guy.
I'm just, I probably make a few sarcastic comments from time to time about philosophers, but
The thief being a thief.
I'm just completely gilded by the
Yeah.
array, like the whole social.
One's enraptured, the other's like.
Okay.
Just 2 completely different walks of life.
Yeah, the librarian is in her environment.
So evening comes. Do you all return to the amphitheater alongside
Yeah. Time to take a
your
nap.
thieving companion?
I actually wouldn't mind going to the arena to sharpen up my.
Before
Well,
that
night?
happens,
At nighttime?
or
I am. I mean, if it's.
well, it's like it's early evening right now. It's not like like
you
red
guys-
dusk.
Oh yeah, I'll watch you break things.
Nice. Okay. I'm down.
Alright,
Let's go to the arena.
All right, roll a die 4 since you're leading the way to the arena.
It's 4. It's flat.
There's nothing going on right there. It seems to be closed down. There's maybe a few people like jogging around this little athletic track in the middle of the area, but there's no fighting or anything going on.
Is it?
You rolled no encounter.
Is there any kind of? There's nobody in the arena, and there's nobody.
Yeah, it's basically there's a little fighting pit. It's not a huge, big arena. It's a small town, but it's got a little fighting
not
pit
the
kind of
Parthenon.
off the side. Mainly, there's like a big kind of athletics track area with a low wall around it. That's got like some weights and some other kind of exercising kind of shit to play with. And there's also a one-story low, big heated public bath.
Any
Bath time.
any like people that work there that I could speak to see if I could just.
No one that's got anything interesting to say. You
Could
rolled
I-
no encounter.
Could I? Are there any archery spots that I could practice my archery at?
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's the farthest?
There's nothing to do. You're just
The ranger wants to poke things.
I just
yeah. Okay, you sit there and you practice your ranging for a little bit.
Can I?
we're going back to the amphitheater after this.
Can I take
The
a
question
shot?
is, like, if
I
you
just
want, you
roll
can
for a
stay
shot.
there and you're just exercising. You're just practicing with your arrows. Arrow target. What distance?
Okay, let's start at.
There's nothing to gain from this.
I know.
At all. Okay.
150 feet.
DC 16 or AC 16.
AC 16.
You have to beat its AC of 16 to hit it.
Hell yeah. Is that small? 7, and that's plus 5.
It's still not enough to beat it.
All right, so I miss.
All right.
All right, let's go. Come on, you guys. Let's go back. Let's go find out what this mystery is. Maybe we can profit.
Time to go to bed.
All right.
All right.
They're closing down at the amphitheater for the second show of the day, and you see some people like leaving as y'all are coming up to the little main entrance to the back of the stage, and you see that sentry guy Krios He's waiting by the door, and he nods at you as you come up, and like, your companions are fine.
Yes, they are trustworthy, and they're not part of any foolish causes.
That you know of.
Very well. Come inside. He takes you back. There's some torches lit as it's growing dark. You don't see the hooded guys in the chorus or any of the other actors there. But there is, sitting at a table off in the wings of the stage, you see one of the human actors that you remember from the show, who is playing like the lead male role in the Califea. Apparently he's the theater director. He's the guy named Alias. And he's talking to a large Minotaur pirate from the looks of him, because he's wearing like the weird silky type clothes that they have in the Dakra Islands, and he's got like a big hoop earring off one of his Minotaur thing, and his left eye is blinded. He's also sitting at the other side of this table, and he's got like a big old mug of ale or something, or wine.
History to see if anything famous about him?
If you want.
Are these pirate minotaurs different than the ones that imprisoned me?
They don't normally do pirate work. They're not a sea people at all, so it is weird seeing one dressed in that garb. It's very off-putting.
I'm like, I hate minotaurs, but I am intrigued that this is like no minotaur I've ever seen. And
I mean, I'm actively looking around, but I have no idea who he is.
so
what did you roll, by the way? 'Cause
It's a 9.
a 9, yeah. You wouldn't recognize anything about him.
I am, like I said, I am being observant.
Also, being a landlubber, it's not like you'd like, oh, that's the clothes of this pirate clan or anything like that.
So since I was invited here, I just decided I better go up to Halus and introduce myself.
Well, Krios, the sentry, will like announce you
Okay.
to the theater director. Alias, this is young Demos, the lad who escaped the labyrinth. At which point, you see the Minotaur kind of bristle and like kind of give you this like leering, like, who the fuck is this kid? Kind of challenging, threatening kind of gaze.
I gaze back.
No, not you, to
I know.
Demos.
I see that, and I gaze back just to let him know that I'm with him.
Give him that lion stare. All right.
I move a little closer, but to him.
I've been reading a scroll on mindfulness for rogues, so I try to take 5 deep breaths when I see this minotaur.
You get the inspiration point for the game. You can use the inspiration point to give yourself advantage on any roll, or you can give it to somebody else so they can get advantage. But
Oh, nice.
But for your scroll, you get to have the inspiration point, which comes in the form of the phoenix, or the sphinx. Okay,
All right.
so Alias stands up like, "Greetings, young brother. It's very welcome to have a young lad with your reputation to grace our hall. What brings you to the town of Krymnos?"
Oh, just some courier work. It's not the type of thing I prefer to do, and I'm more interested in rendering service to our god Phoenix. But, you've got to make a living.
This is true, which is part of serving Phoenix. Well, we don't really have a whole bunch of huge operations going on in this town right now. The main thing we're working on is our friend here, Polychronopolis, who's a commander of a ship of Dakran pirates, is helping us to do some work for the master himself. We're trying to... Well, what he basically describes is apparently the Minotaurs of Scophos are waging increased attacks against the undead city of Odunos. Odunos, being a city of return, falls under Phoenix's purview, and so he's using his criminal network to smuggle weapons and supplies up to Odunos to bolster them, because Meletis and Akros and the other human kingdoms would not openly support a kingdom of undead. But in order to keep it from falling to the Minotaurs, he's using a network of pirates and smugglers to booge a bunch. And that's why he's got the pirate Minotaur there. They're in the process of moving some treasure from Asphodel, which is another kingdom of the dead further to the east. on the other side of the world map. And so that's the thing that he's got going on. And whether or not you might be able to help with that's kind of questionable. They seem to kind of have things all in hand. But it is the first word that there's some sort of war brewing between the Minotaurs, back where you would spend a good chunk of your childhood, unfortunately, having some sort of conflict with the city.
Well, I do want to know if there are any ways that I can further the anti-Minotaur cause because of my great hatred for those Minotaurs that imprison me.
Deep scars.
Minotaurs, you say?
Alia is just kind of smiling and biting her tongue for saying something.
You have big, brassy balls for a human of such size, little one.
How tall is this guy?
You're like 6'2", but he's like, after he stands up out of his chair, he's like 7'4". He's like a foot taller than you, just brawny, just rippling Minotaur, fucking pirate guy.
I stand a bit firmer and a bit more like.
Make an intimidation check.
So I have a +2 to intimidation plus my charisma, so that's. I got +3.
Ah, shit.
Wait, it hit this. You want me to re-roll?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let you re-roll that. I don't like shit bouncing off
Get a
stuff
better one.
interfering.
That one. Oh, red one. Oh, 14.
He laughs and pats you. I like this one. Ha! And he goes back and sits back down and goes back to his drink. Alias looks to you is like, if I could come up with something that I can have you do for us, I will certainly let you know. But as of now, I'm in the middle of my meeting with Polychronopolis here. Feel free to use our facilities if you need a place to stay. You're probably not likely to want to stay there because it's underground and cramped.
That's why she's biting her tongue, because she's like...
You're not in the underground section, though. You're still up on the... Up on the
So I asked him if he knows...
That's up to him, but then she's like...
anything about Anapsi, this hedonist that we delivered a letter to.
Well, he's a main draw to this town's economy. I mean, if Anapsi wasn't here, this place would quickly revert back to just being a nobody, nothing fishing town. And we'd have to set up shop somewhere else. It's only because of the amount of travel that comes through this town to come visit and see Anaps and have discussions in the Agora with the other philosophers that we're able to run any sort of smuggling or gambling network out of here. So he's very useful to us in that regards. He is planning on having a big dedication to a new shrine that he commissioned to Karametra over in the vineyard section of town. He's been a big proponent of promoting the production of wine in our little village here, and he wants to give thanks to the goddess of the harvest and fertility, Karametra. So I do know he's planning on having some sort of big ceremony soon once the statue's finished. I think he's writing some sort of poem about it.
I kind of casually mentioned, do remember we need to be leaving tomorrow.
Did I ask him, does he have any enemies?
No one that immediately needs to be struck from my list. I do know that some of the nobles who run the vineyards are tired of having to pay well, they're being extorted by a Cyclops that lives somewhat close to here for wine. She'll leave the town alone if they give her wine periodically, but just judging from y'all and your basic looks and your outfitting, I think that might still be a bit beyond your pay grade for now. And it's not a thing that's personally affecting my business or Fanax's plans. Just keep an ear open for any news you have about Minotaur machinations in the east. I mean, in the west.
Alright, so I'm satisfied, and I decide I don't want to leave the party, so I'm going to go back to our campsite with everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Alia is much relieved to get out of there.
Okay, so if you're going to go back to the Agora and just sleep out, like I said, there's an outer wall, and then there's kind of a covered walkway around the outer perimeter of it, and people are allowed to just put
The
out
safest
sleeping
spot.
roll and- Yeah, go for it.
The safest spot we can find.
All right, so we're going to go on pause for a second.
We are back.
All right. So you sleep the night away, you have your long rest, it's fairly uneventful. The next morning, you head up to Anapsi's house right off the bat.
Yeah.
All right. There's no one at the door. You don't see the secretary come down or anything, but these are Greek houses, so it's not like modern day. Everything's super secured and locked. You could just walk right on in if you want. It's just kind of like an open arch.
I see where the cook is.
Over in the kitchen, you do see the cook and the housekeeper, human. They're both passed out, drunk, on opposite sides of a table, like they've been up all night drinking.
You want to wake him up?
Yeah. In Sylvan, I asked the satyr to, hey, wake up.
Ugh.
Wakey, wakey.
What are you doing here, lad?
We're here to pick up the message.
I mean, what are you doing here, lass?
We're here to pick up the message from the master.
Oh.
He told us to be back.
He waves over towards where Napsi's office is on the other side of the courtyard.
I trot on over.
And he puts his head back down. All right. Upon entering the room...
Did I mention that she spent a lot of time with the nymphs and satyrs in the forest?
So she's kind of accustomed to their...
She wants to be a nymph.
Anaps is laying dead on the floor of his office.
Oh, shit.
There's a spilled bottle of ink next to his hand and a big puddle of ink.
Investigation check.
Yeah.
I think I'm the one with the best investigation.
Well, you can each play a different role, because there's the body to look at, and then you can investigate the room for clues, or use perception to pick up visual kind of clues, or investigation for, like, this paper might have something on it that might have to tell us about what's going on, or anything like that.
Insight?
So who would like to do what?
I want to look at the body.
I'll check the paper.
I'll do the perception check.
Okay. So, first go Sepni, because you got the highest. So you're going to just make a perception check around the room.
Yeah, and I have 4 for perception. 19.
Okay. Not only is there a spot of ink from the spilled ink bottle that apparently he had been carrying when he was killed, but there's a slight dribble of ink leading out towards the balcony, as if somebody got splashed on someone's clothes and had dripped on the floor as they left.
Do I notice what color ink it is?
It's black ink.
I take a look.
Okay, so,
I'm checking out.
yeah, you're next. So, yeah, you're doing the what? The investigation roll to look around.
Yeah, look around.
Okay.
Let's see. Rolled an 11, and I'm going to go ahead and add 6 to that. So 16 plus 5, 21.
Okay. You find on his desk, sitting on top of a long poem that Alias had told you about, you find the unfinished letter to Eurymaides, the reply letter he was writing, and also the letter that he received from Eurymaides, the one that you had brought him, which you can look at if you want.
I'll look at both.
Okay, the letter from Eurymaides is thanking Anaps for help with that riddle, before asking for help locating the Temple of Three Fates and the empty lands beyond Phala. And the letter back to Eurymaides, Anaps was recommending a book about ancient Olantin in Glossian's library, said to contain a map of the region in question. The name and the author of the book are not identified. It wasn't finished. This is the letter. And the poem underneath the letter that he was writing, it's just a long-winded dedication to a new shrine at Karametra. The last line saying that Karametra's harvest is greater even than that of the sea. You want to look at the body?
Yeah.
Make a medicine check.
Medicine check.
Or insight.
+2. I have investigation.
Medicine
No.
is wisdom.
I'll allow investigation. It just won't give you much in the terms of like forensic details, but
Yeah. 4 plus 3.
all you can tell is it looks like the guy. It's hard to tell if he was. He either was strangled to death or something like gnawed on his neck. It's hard to tell.
Do I see the confused look on his face?
Yeah.
All right,
One of you can come up and do a backup roll.
I'll do a backup roll.
Okay.
I'm going to the balcony.
Like poking.
All right.
What skill? Got pretty much.
You're trying to identify how he died, so I'd say like medicine or just a raw perception or investigation, but medicine would be the most ideal.
I got +5 for all of them. So.
Okay.
19.
Okay. He was definitely choked to death, but with something that was apparently like chewing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Your guess would be like a tentacle, like something that's got mouths on it, but is also strong enough to have wrapped itself around his throat all the way and choked the life out of him.
He got killed by a calamari.
It's not quite like a squid or something, or a octopus tentacle maybe.
He's been eating too much calamari and he put
he was not attacked just outright by an animal, and it's not like choked to death by hands or choked to death with a rope.
Okay, I'm going to do something we should have done already. I'm going to trot in and tell the other two, hey, go.
Okay, well, you're running out the room to go alert the rest of the house staff that he's dead. You're going out on the balcony, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's another ink stain
Claim for this,
on the lip of the balcony, overlooking down, and this just a straight drop down the side of the cliff on that side of the town, and there's this ocean roiling below. There's part of a handprint of the stained in ink, only like the lower corner, not enough to really tell what race it is unless you roll really good
on what?
On a perception check.
Come on.
Beat a DC 20.
Perception 4.
Try to figure out what kind of hand this is. You know it wasn't a furry hand.
Oh! 10.
You can't tell.
Is there anything else that I see, like any other kind of disturbances on the balcony?
No. The only other disturbances in the room is by the opening of the door, like it looks like a vase got pushed over, and there's a bookshelf to one end of the room, and it looks like a bunch of books got knocked off of it and are like all piled up kind of awkwardly at the base of the bookshelf.
As I'm walking off, can I toss them a inspirational quote?
You use your bardic inspiration after?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Who? Which one of them are you going to give it to?
I thought I could do both. Can I? With the whole party?
You could double check. I would assume it's.
What could I use that inspiration for?
Time. And you got the inspiration you can use.
You could re-roll for that.
Yeah, you're able to give yourself advantage on a roll.
Bonus action.
Which means you get to roll 2 dice and
just
take the
one.
better.
Okay.
Okay.
You get a D plus. You can roll your inspiration, and you also you can get a plus D4, but only one time in the next 10 minutes to basically roll.
Okay.
And you have to decide.
So
you roll first.
You want to make
another investigation roll. Now that I saw we've all conferred everything we've seen.
Yeah.
And there's the handprint, and I remember the letters talking something about Atlantis.
Yeah.
And the Temple of Three Fates.
Atlantin, but yes, basically Atlantis.
And of course, I'm still out.
And I'm like, I think there must be some connection between these things.
Okay, so
we're all better this time.
Are you just doing like looking for any other clues, or are you trying to make an investigation check to put all the clues together?
I'm trying to put the clues together.
Okay.
But I'm also looking down at those scrolls that were.
He's taking
you
in
got the 2 letters
got
the 2 letters in the poem that he was in the middle of writing, and then him being killed, and then ink dripping, the nature of how he was killed.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Handprint. I mean, like, how would you put that together without making a roll before you even make the roll? Like, just using your own deductive reasoning with these clues. Also, like I said, like on the other side of the room, it looks like a bookshelf got damaged, but you haven't gone over to like look at what's going on over there. It's the only other real sign of there was any physical struggle. It just looked like the guy just got surprised and choked from behind, and aside from a vase by the front door to the office and the bookshelf being fucked up.
Well, I've heard weird stories in my travels of people getting choked in this way by some kind of mysterious sea creature, and I don't know. I think it must have something to do with it.
Okay, well, roll, because there's still uncovered clues, so if you're going to roll it now, I'm going to make it a DC 20 to get an accurate read. If you want to spend a little bit more time looking for clues, I'll lower it down to a DC 15.
What's the inspiration?
You want to do the 15 because what happens is you roll, then you get to add a D4 if you don't hit the target.
Okay, yeah. So let's root around.
Okay,
Make another go around the whole space.
Okay.
Everything we missed.
It doesn't even require a roll. When you get over to the bookshelves, underneath the books, which once again not like books in the modern day, but like a bunch of big like scrolls shoved into like wooden tubes, so you can get multiple scrolls in them and kind of stuff. There's an unconscious and almost dead dog underneath this pile of scrolls over there. It looks like he got kicked really badly, and he's just like kind of panting. And
can I go up to him and speak to him?
he's almost dead.
You gotta heal him first.
Yeah, here, let me heal him.
Okay, you're gonna use your cure wounds.
Yeah, I used cure wounds, and let me see, it was
D8.
I'm trying to remember for the ranger. Is it any different?
Cure is just D8.
It's just a creature.
A D8 plus my wisdom. Yeah, it's wisdom because it's intelligence for wisdom.
No, you're rolling for how much hit points you heal. You don't get a plus on that.
Yeah, you don't have to like target him either. It's not like he's gonna resist.
Oh, you just get.
It's not like
Yeah, you just walk up and
see
heal.
how many hit points you're in.
Where is it? There it is.
So we got 2 characters who can speak with animals.
It hit the book. Do you want me to re-roll? I got it too. It's your call.
It's enough hit points to get it off a death's door.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
So
now
the dog isn't dying anymore.
I cast Speak with Animals, which lasts for 10 minutes, and I ask him and inquire him about the nature of this incident.
Speak with them.
He was asleep. He had just gnawed on a bone. He was asleep. The master should have gone to bed soon. There was noise. He woke up. The master is being choked by a dark man, a glittering dark man.
Any smells?
He tried to attack the dark man. The dark man kicked him across the room, and he knocked out. And that's all he remembers. That he was kicked hard enough that it almost killed him.
Oh, dang.
And he was kicked across the room and hit the shelf, and that's why all the shit fell on him.
But no odd smells. No odd.
The dog would recognize him if he sees him. He can identify the killer if you keep the dog with you.
Would he know about the Nyxborn?
That's like not an unknown thing. People, your characters know the basis of what the world is.
I'm not there. I walked out. I mean, would he know about the Nyxborn?
I should.
Yeah. Well, like the Nyxborn are a thing that like some creatures and people, like the gods, will sometimes fashion somebody basically out of heaven stuff.
So I can't tell them like what color is it.
But they have this thing where like in their shadows it looks like you see a star field and seeing the shadowed part of their body. Like how it is on this cover here, where you see like the shadows of the Hydra, it's a star field.
Looks rad.
That's how Nyxborn creatures and people look. And a dark man who's glittery, that could be describing a Nyxborn. It's not a bad guess.
You guys thinking of anything else I could ask him? I have like a few more minutes.
I don't know if I'm way back.
I'm telling you, that's basically all the dog has to say about what happened. The dog is amenable to getting the bastard who killed his master and tried to kill him, and so he will identify who the culprit is.
Would he like to cooperate with us?
Within reason.
All right.
You're not going to be able to like command him to attack and shit. He's just going to be a dog. It's just like a big friendly hunting dog, kind of like a proto Labrador Retriever kind of thing.
I look at him
that
and
breed
say,
doesn't really exist yet.
Your grievance is regrettable, but you may accompany us if you wish to avenge your master.
He barks an affirmative. Okay, so you
always good.
You got a dog that can identify the murderer if you can figure out who the murderer is.
What's his name?
Okay, make a DC 15 investigation check to try to put your clues together. Well, and then we're gonna make that roll, but then we'll wait a second and I'll switch over to you.
And what's the inspiration do?
We'll roll first.
Oh, okay. So I got +3 investigation.
So you don't need it. You can save it.
Okay,
You can, but you can only save it for 10 minutes.
basically for a scene.
What's the name and breed of the dog? Just so I know.
This is like the world's just barely new. There really aren't a bunch of specific dog breeds. They're real generic. You have war dogs, hunting dogs, lap dogs. This is a hunting dog.
Any and no name that I can refer to him with?
The dog's name that his master had given him is Char.
Char.
Because he's got black fur.
Okay. Black dog.
With kind of a smoky muzzle.
Char the black dog.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's an Ephesian husky.
How many hit points total?
How many did you roll for your hero?
Just 2 for
That's
you.
how many hit points he has. You've determined his
Damn.
hit points randomly. Because I didn't really have specific stats for the dog.
So he's not a
He,
very...
didn't, he forgot we both have to speak with animals.
This dog is not a... well, like I said, I already had written this out before I had any of y'all locked in. There's all sorts of weird ways your character choices will allow you to interact with or have trouble interacting with the things going on in this particular
We have a
murder
lead, though.
mystery
We have
that you
someone who
stumbled
can-
upon. Okay, so... DC 15, you got a 17. So
Yeah, 20,
it would
yeah,
appear, like doing a little bit of Sherlock Holmesing, that Anaps had been writing his reply to Eurymaides, had run out of ink, got up, crossed over to get some ink off a shelf, and while crossing back in front of the balcony entrance, somebody had snuck up over the balcony, somehow climbing this big-ass long cliff that's overlooking the sea, strangled him with something that appears to be an octopus tangle, a tentacle of some sort. So whether or not he is extending that or he's got some sort of weapon that's got an octopusy kind of thing going on, but choked him from behind. Apparently Anaps had like flung his ink so that some of the ink got on the guy, hence the dribbles, and got some on his hand.
Smart.
And at some point during also all this, the dog wakes up, sees his master being strangled, runs over to tries to help. He kicked the dog across the room. The housekeeper and the cook were passed out drunk or were being too loud from their midnight revels in the
Or
kitchen
maybe-
to have noticed what was going
Or
on.
maybe they were drugged.
No sign of the secretary still.
I thought you said she
So,
was downstairs with the...
no, you know, it's the housekeeper, not the
Oh.
secretary. The housekeeper is a male human. So,
Oh. Go wake him up.
this is the situation you have. By the time you go back to the kitchen, they've had a little bit more time to wake up. So yes, you've gone into the kitchen. Satyr and human housekeeper, they're both groggy.
In Sullivan, I thought, because I'm more comfortable with the satyr. Hey, someone killed your boss.
What?
Oh, that was graceful.
He like stands up but kind of rears back and has balances off because he's still fucking hungover. What do you mean? They killed they killed the old man?
Yeah, while you two were drunk, you killed him over here.
Useless.
Okay, he goes stumbling out of the room. The housekeeper, like, what's going on?
In English, or in comment, I retranslate and tell him. Yo,
Oh,
boss is
shit.
dead. And while they're going out, I'm like, do you guys normally drink this bad, or?
I'm sure they were that
Yeah,
hungover.
it's not like there's a whole lot to do here at night. Television hasn't been invented yet, so
No, I was just wondering, maybe they were
there's a lot of drinking.
drugged.
Oh.
No, not that they could tell. Actually, they're not, but if you want to make a medicine roll confirm, I'm not just making that up.
I almost had
No.
Yeah, no, they're just honestly hungover.
Just making sure.
Yeah, that's valid, because if we can identify any poisons.
Yeah, and that's something that you would expect her to pick up from ballads and stories. I mean, she's read all the scrolls in her library.
I had a spell which
Okay.
allowed me to identify them as well, but I didn't pick it because I'm a foolish man.
So what you need to do is to be making some, I guess, some investigation rolls to interview the housekeeper and the cook and see what kind of information.
Do like Aristotle. Get another. You get +4.
+4?
Or you get the D4.
D4 plus to my
It's to any ability, attack roll, or saving throw. But you have to roll first, and then you determine whether you want to use it, because he still has his. And then, he tells you whether you fail or not.
So what do I have to roll?
Actually it's a D6. Sorry.
D6?
Well, since the cook ran off to go, so the cook comes into your room, so you get to interview the cook, and you can ask questions of the housekeeper and see what they might know about, like, anything strange as to, like, who might have killed the guy, because that's the kind of information.
That would be a 24.
Okay, the housekeeper mentions that the only thing he can think of is, like, who might have killed him. He knows that the sun priest of Heliod is like the strongest supporter of the formalist philosophy, and he's like extremely heated rivals with Anaps. He doesn't know if that'd be enough for him to like have him murdered in the night, but he's the only person that the housekeeper knows.
Do I know anything historical about this guy?
Probably not. It's a small town priest.
Just a small town priest. Though.
Yeah.
Rival to Anapsi?
Yeah. Yeah, his rival is apparently a sun priest. And the sun priest had a name, didn't he?
And I'm interviewing the cook?
Yeah. The satyr.
Lycos the Bald is the name of the priest.
Bald like the sun.
Okay, so you want to roll, and you're going to try to interview the cook.
What
so
information do you think I could get from them?
Right now, just try to get anything.
yeah.
Alright, okay, I'll roll.
Either try to persuade some information out of him, or just like interrogate him and roll investigation.
I'll be respectful.
Whichever one you get better bonus off, basically.
Yeah, you can do an investigation without being rude. You can interrogate somebody without being rude.
I have better intimidation than anything.
Intimidate the information. Tell me what the fuck's going on here, cook.
Yeah, maybe I just
You're
say it a
an
bit
outlander.
sternly. Yeah. Okay. So I've got.
You got that lion roar shit. You're like, ah.
I got +3 to intimidation. It seems. So +3 to intimidation. Yeah, and I look at him and I say in a stern voice,
Tell me what you know.
"Did you see anything on that night, or did anything suspicious at all? Like with a lot of concern." 15, 16, 17.
You got a D4 if you want it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
D6.
6. Good enough, right?
You weren't very inspired by my philosophy of words.
Well, especially after hearing what clues that y'all had gathered, and hearing that you never identified the palm print on the thing.
Never did. No.
Can I go look at it? If I know what's going on.
But no, it's smudged after the first time he looked at it.
Oh yeah.
So the scene is contaminated.
The girl with the nature skill.
You know it wasn't a Minotaur or a Leonin because it wasn't someone with fur, but it could have been a satyr. It might have been a centaur, but how a centaur was climbing up and down that cliff in the middle of the night, very unlikely to have been a centaur.
Climb walls.
Could have been a human. Could have been a Triton. It could have been anybody with a fleshy, human-like hand.
Yeah. It's a 2nd level spell. This character will be learning spider climb. He will be seeing centaurs crawl up walls.
Or just walk.
Yeah, just.
That's awesome.
Hello.
Okay, so anyway, he throws shade on one of Anapsi's recent students, a Triton girl named Kirky, who comes and goes from town, but she's, for the last several months, has been trying to get Anaps to take her on as his apprentice. And the cook apparently just really dislikes her and doesn't trust her at all. And he's like, I bet it's that bitch.
I'd like to go and talk with them. Where can I find them?
She may or may not be in town. In other words, Kirky is a random encounter. You might run into her, you might not.
I know
her
that.
digits? No.
Yeah. Don't.
Okay,
Don't do boats.
do you ask either of them about the secretary and where she might be?
That would probably be an obvious.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, can I maybe do an investigation of there must be some secretarial items and left behind things.
You should probably want to find her
somewhere.
first, just in case she doesn't like.
Well,
you
I'm saying
crawling around her
to
stuff.
see if there's anything that would give me a clue where she went.
well, either the cook or the housekeeper would both point out that she has she's lovers with one of the fishermen down in the fishmongers section of the village.
Man.
So she is probably spending the night with him, would be their guess. So, those are basically the clues you're able to get from from the house. That's about everything that there is to be found there in terms of stuff to find about the body and what the.
Let's go talk to your buddy.
They're gonna
That's
be
probably the closest thing this town has to a guard.
Yeah, they're gonna be upset that their
Yeah.
best source of business is
They've been murked, yeah. So that's a concern for them.
Yeah,
We're not aware of this. Are we?
We were all together.
Yeah, because I took you down there.
We went downstairs with him.
I
So
see.
yeah.
No, you were on the stage when you were
Yeah.
talking with
We were on
the
the
director.
stage.
You didn't
We
go
went
to the underground.
Oh.
facility
I
the
went to
second
the
time.
other position because you told me I was feeling uncomfortable down there.
No, I was saying that
But
you
you're
could
on
stay
stage,
there, but
but-
you would feel uncomfortable
Oh,
because
I thought we
they were
were
talking with the underground part. You were still on the above ground area.
Underground, but you have some idea.
You could have told them what
guys.
little bit you saw of it.
Yeah.
Which is all you just saw was like a long hallway and some rooms off to the sides and candlelight. and torches and shit. But you didn't really have a chance to look around and take a tour.
Yeah, so I agree. Let's go back to the amphitheater and see if we can.
Okay, well, let's see who's at the
Right,
amphitheater this morning. Roll a die 6.
4.
All right, they have another morning performance, this time of the Theriod.
Another popular one, I assume?
Yeah, it's it's the second most popular one.
Working their way up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what idiot would build a temple of Phoenix under?
Best place to hide in plain sight?
That's a good
You
idea.
have to watch
That's big
play
entertainment.
after play. This is terrible.
The
Well,
guys,
that's the thing. If you want to be able to speak to the theater director, either you're going to have to try to get his attention and interrupt this play, or you're going to have to wait until they're done.
do we see the big guy from earlier?
You could try
the worst
going
fight
down
ever.
to the underground section. Maybe Krios is down there. You don't see him.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for Krios. But
This time I specifically follow you down.
Okay, so you go to the little side entrance by the side of the hill.
Uncomfortable or not, we got a job to do.
The door
Yeah,
after that
it's
sharp
important.
turn in the stairs cut into the hill.
Watch your head.
There's that door.
You're both
It's-
taller than me.
It's locked, but after knocking on it, it opens, and yes, it's Krios, the big, tall, masked man, is there waiting. You return,
Hola.
my brother.
Hello.
Greetings. We have urgent news. Anapses is dead. We found him murdered, and we have some suspicions, but we're not sure exactly what happened.
But this is most troubling news indeed. Unfortunately, the master of our temple will not be free until the end of their performance right now. Would you care to wait? Or should I have him send a runner to come fetch you when he's free?
Any idea? I asked about the Triton lady.
Oh, yes.
Oh, has he heard anything? He
Cricket?
doesn't know. He wouldn't know. He's basically just like house security. He doesn't. He's not involved in operations.
Well, I think we need to
Well,
stay and wait.
well, I'll make a point of describing to him everything we found, see if he has any insight. He knows the town better than we do. Obviously.
Tritons come here frequently. They have a small village underwater, a little bit to the east of here, which is near a temple of theirs, right along the coast. See that little notch? There's a temple to Thassa in a cave there, and somewhere around here there's a small village of Tritons who they'll come up and trade fish and goods and all that kind of stuff. The Miletus humans and the Tritons of Miletus Bay are real similar culturally and get along pretty damn well. Yeah,
What's that place called?
it's a temple of Thassa, a coastal temple of Thassa.
Why do I get the... Why does Umberly just keep popping into my head?
I don't know. I know that name, but I'm also not
She's the
pulling it.
bitch. She's the bitch queen, the goddess of the sea that
Ah.
kills everybody.
Well, sea gods are always fucking fickle assholes. That's just kind of a given. It's just a question of are the men worse than the women sea
So
gods?
I think we need to wait and talk to Alice. Because
Sounds like a good idea.
But he doesn't know of the specific Triton, Kirky, that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But to get hold of Tritons, he'd probably have to go to the temple, because without the ability to swim at the bottom of the sea, going to their village isn't exactly convenient. Although you can often find them in the fishmonger section, because, like as I said, the fishermen come in daily to trade and sell their wares and stuff. So.
I think waiting would be a good idea.
Okay.
You know, let's follow one lead at a time as opposed to just...
Right.
Overextending yourself. Okay, well, it's going to be like about a good hour until...
I'll go out and watch the play.
Okay, you're just going to go up and watch the play? Are you all going to do that?
Mr. Grumbly will probably stay sitting
Oh
there.
my gosh, again. Okay, fine.
I could. Yeah, I don't mind.
Alright.
This time less attentively, more aware of the surrounding area.
Like I said, I put my coins someplace safe.
Alright, well, after the show ends, you don't have to head back downstairs. In fact, the theater director, after a moment of being off stage, he comes back out, looks at y'all, and cuts across the little floor in between the theater and the seats as the regular townsfolk are leaving.
I greet him and then I explain the
He
situation.
I've just been told that Anapsi has been murdered. What?
This is what we found.
Okay. Give him the full presentation.
Yeah, the blah.
Okay.
And do so respectively because he's a fellow bard, or kind of.
He has severe doubts that the Sun Priest had anything to do with it. He and Anapsi hated each other, but just like him, the Sun Priest would understand that the town wouldn't be what it is right now without the draw of having this famous philosopher there. So he wouldn't have had him.
It's like a business rival.
Could I insight check that really quick?
Yeah.
Just to be sure. All right.
DC 20 to insight check this guy.
Oh, easy. Insight. Let's see.
I could probably do it, but I'm not going.
It's all easy.
better
It's all it's all going to declare something easy until you roll a 1.
Well, I got a +4, so
You still. That's been long. It's been more past by.
garbage.
You can't tell. All right.
Did
So
you-
anyway,
would that count as a short rest?
as what? Hanging around for
Watching the.
Yeah, that would count because you spent about an hour just
So I get my
relaxing.
D10 back?
Yeah, watching some entertainment. Okay, so anyway, he has serious doubts about what the housekeeper had to say about Anaps. He doesn't really know anything about Kirky, the student. He has seen her around. She never comes to the theater.
Could he possibly identify the creature? Is there any creatures that would have a weapon like that, or any creatures that may have an appendage?
Not that he knows of. He can't help, though, but feel that there might be a Triton connection because of having to have come up over the cliff face. There's just not a lot of known monsters in the area that they've been having any sort of trouble with that would do stuff like that. And since the dog described to you a dark man, it probably wasn't just some random critter. He knows that none of his people had anything to do with it, for sure.
Being a philosopher, and apparently he's one of the new people, would he have said anything to annoy followers of a certain deity or something because of the possible Nyxborn connection?
There is the thing. Okay, so you give him all the evidence, or tell him about all the evidence. And he himself had mentioned to you the last time you had visited him that Anaps was dedicating a shrine to Karametra. And you saw the poem that he was doing that. And the very last line of the poem was saying that Karametra's bounty is greater than even that of the sea.
So he could have pissed off someone.
Just the sheer act of writing the poetry, was that enough to have pissed off the goddess of the sea to send something to kill him?
Or could it be an indicator that maybe he had said something earlier about the same goddess?
Yeah.
And are those two deities rivals?
Not really. That's basic theological knowledge. The Karametra and Thassa, their realms don't touch each other, so that they're not on the same side, but they're not enemies either.
The world's probably too new for them to.
Yeah, and Thassa's kind of generally kind of isolated from the other gods. She's just kind of just doing her own thing, or the other gods are a bit more sociable with each other.
Does he think that we're onto a lead that he might have pissed off?
The Triton's definitely a suspect.
He would think that you from what information you have gathered so far, something to do with the Tritons might be what to look into. So, but getting a hold of them once again, you'd either have to go all the way out to that temple or try to find some that are in town trading down around the fishmongers.
What would be a good offering for that god?
Oh, what would be a good offering for a sea god? Well, Tritons trade in seashells. They don't use coins.
Probably.
So, yeah. No, I mean, just any pretty seashells they'll use as for trade. You can get chests full of seashells that are worthless everywhere else, but you go to the right Triton town and you're fucking just buying hookers left and right and cocaine and everything.
Underwater
do
cocaine.
you have access?
The best kind.
Do you have access to anything like that so we can make a good impression?
You can just go wander up and down the shoreline. You can probably collect enough shells to fool those idiots.
Well, I want to be respectful of the god.
A live sacrifice of a land animal might appease her, or make her, because you'd be bringing something foreign to her, whereas killing something of the sea might be taken as an insult. And yeah, just general offerings of money and raw goods. I mean,
offer something of
Generally,
Yeah,
like
it's-
anything,
it's-
like most
it's
people
dead.
bring as offerings to gods, it'll generally be like offerings of food and wealth. So
We're making an
that's
offering right now.
that's appropriate.
Well,
to
I'm thinking.
the-
What I'm thinking is, let's go to the temple with an offering to be polite to the Tritons to help.
I have an
To
animal.
help
Can we
get
just get something of a Napsies?
sacrificing wine.
yeah, get a gift of wine.
Ask him if he has anything appropriate that we might be able to use for this.
I have a lot of unhelpful ideas about Tritons because the only thing I know is from when I saw the play Revenge of the Tritons.
No, like, they have some small amount of like alcohol on hand there at the temple, and
It's not for our
from
use.
his angle, like this is kind of a lose-lose situation because like Anapsis is dead. There's nothing to do about that except to just explain what the fuck happened and potentially get some sort of sense of justice. But the next cult doesn't really give a shit about justice in that way. Maybe would be more interested in the revenge angle, more so than wanting to see like the murderer brought to court or anything.
We also have a dog that's interested in revenge.
And the dog can, well, yeah.
Well,
The
I'm
dog's
his
second.
opinion's
The dog
important,
is a tertiary thing. The dog's not like a
Yeah, but
companion
the
animal.
but the Triton. What I'm thinking is the Tritons may be being blamed wrongly. That's why I'm trying to get on your good
We
side
should
to see maybe they're interested in clearing their name kind of thing.
perhaps we should suspect them first, though.
Well, yeah, we're doing both.
Yeah,
I
Multitasking here.
yeah. Just keep like no conclusions.
I'm trying to play a character who's more intelligent and more wise than I am by a
Well,
long
if
shot.
you're wanting to get a better read on what's going on with the Tritons, he would suggest you might want to poke around the fisherman's quarter a little bit, see if you can actually run into one.
There would be followers of her probably there.
She's
That
definitely more
too, even amongst the humans, because the humans will be respectful. Because it's like ancient Greece. Just because you're part of a cult of Athena doesn't mean you disbelieve in all the other gods and never respect them. You might have one that you favor the most, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be respectful and follow certain.
And there's
values.
always tradition of paying homage to gods you don't like to try to keep them away from you.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's plenty of fishermen
Okay.
are aware of Thassa and know about the temple and stuff. So even if you can't find any Tritons, going into the fisherman's quarter and talking with some of the local fishermen might get you some
Greatly
info.
appreciate your help.
well, so
We will try to figure this out.
I want to ask one more thing. What are they going to do about the economy locally? Are there any famous students who could even try to fill in his footsteps?
I have no idea. This is possibly doomed the village in the long term.
Would I as a bard know? Would I have heard of any of their up and coming students?
No, not really.
Pursuing a dead end, probably.
That one person like held up
Lycos the
majority
Bald
of
is like
time.
now the top fucking philosopher in town because he's in charge of the formalist faction, and with Anapsi dead, there's really no one else to challenge.
Would there be any possibility of one of that faction? Well, I know anything about there be possibly being one that faction that would want to take him out, other than Helios. He's a famous person against them, and it's not unknown for
Yeah.
rival schools to.
No, that's
plot against one another. Yeah.
you not knowing any of the people specifically. It's hard to say. If you'd have to like maybe go to the Agora or go look for Lycos the Bald and talk to him because he would know the people of his faction the best probably.
So why don't we do that first to keep pursuing this angle, and then we'll go to the village.
Okay, that works.
Okay, so first you want to go try to find Lycos the Bald, or do you want to go to the fisherman's market, or do you want to split up while you're in town and some of y'all go?
I want to go down to the fishmongers, but
Let's try the bald guy first.
I'm a little skeptical of the whole thing as to whether we can really be of any much use in this situation, but I'm kind of waiting. Maybe there's some way to profit from it that I haven't seen yet. So.
Well, he says there's a chance you'll see Lycos at the Sun Temple, and sometime he's also to be found in the Agora. So you can either go to either of those two locations and have a random encounter, and see if
It's up to you. We both want to do something different.
So Fishmonger's Market.
I would rather the parties stay together.
Well, no, I said stay together. So let's figure out because we both want to go someplace else. So I guess it's up to you.
That's just which one do you want to go to first.
indifferent.
The Sun Temple is all the way up at the top of the hill in the middle of the village section, whereas the Fishmongers is like practically across the street from the amphitheater.
All right,
let's go to
You're
Fishmongers.
physically closer to go wander around. Okay, so you're gonna basically just go in there and ask around. Give me a DC 12 persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Me?
Or investigation, or some
Investigation.
whatever angle you're using to gain information.
That would be an 18.
Okay. In the fishmonger's quarter, stories are told that there's a helpful fisherman who found some fancy clothes in his boat this morning. They'd be worth more if it not for the ink stains on them.
Yep, definitely.
They can tell you where to go find this fisherman.
Please do.
All right.
A fisherman from the sea?
Well, no, he found stuff in his boat, so...
Yeah, when he was going out to go fishing this morning and he's getting his boat ready, he found something weird.
It's sounding more like either a Triton or somebody who can go underwater, because they would ditch the clothes and then swim out to sea.
I see.
It sounded like to me. Let's go talk.
All right. Well, our nameless, helpful fisherman.
Yeah. First thing I do is greet him and then explain the situation.
Okay, he takes you over to the boat. He'll show you the clothes he found. It's this really nice robe.
Is the dog with us?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to have the dog with you for now.
Yeah.
The dog isn't sniffing or reacting to him as if he's anything bad.
No, the clothes.
Let's see if we can get his scent off the clothes.
Or if he recognizes it.
Yeah, he recognizes the scent. And
can we keep
like I
one
said,
of
they're
the-
fancy. Aside from the bad ink stain on the lower hem.
Can we keep them with us so that we can use it?
For now, you can have the dog with you, but he's not a companion animal. He's not going to stay with you forever.
Can we keep the
clothes?
He was hoping that he'd be able to get something good for those in the market. Do any of you have anything maybe to trade for him?
I could,
or you could try to convince him that you need them for the investigation to. So yeah, either persuasion or make a persuasion check with a DC 15, or offer him something.
Could I?
I don't have persuasion.
Alternatively, could I intimidate him?
Tell him he's going to be in a famous epic song, and his name will be included for the ages if he helps us now.
If you intimidate him, you get just the one and only chance, and he's not going to be helpful anymore. And you haven't finished resolving him. We're already starting to pick over whether or not you get to keep these clothes.
How much does he want for the clothes? And what could
This
he
is a
trade?
barter society for the most part. There's no coin value. You wouldn't possibly have enough coins for something like this anyway if you're buying
I
it
have
new.
pretty good sleight of hand.
You're not going to slide
A hand of robe.
You shove it in your pocket and it's just all bulked up. You're like, where'd my
I
clothes
was
go?
just thinking if we could just sing a
Let me
song
see
and
if I
distract
can
him
make
for a
it.
second.
The bard should have persuasion.
No, not yet.
What?
He's a skill bard.
All right, so
Wait, give me one moment.
I'm checking to see if I got anything.
I can offer him. I can offer him
Actually,
a spear for my tribe. It's handmade.
Actually, ironically, I have something.
It's probably useful for a fisherman, and it's a very good quality. It's a solid spear.
okay, he'll accept.
All right. I trade him my one of my spears, and we receive the clothes.
No, you
I
get
said I'm not
the
telling
one
about my
spear. You have a mace and a spear. You don't have two spears.
Oh yeah, I know.
So you just have a mace and a longbow now.
My-
Okay.
my
I bought 2 extra, but
All right, and I guess the starry cloak is yours in
All right.
particular. So take your robe of stars.
All right, that's nice.
that's you. I can't wear a robe.
All right. Also, there's another handprint and ink on the side of the boat.
Let me-
This time it's a DC 12 investigation to figure out.
Yeah, let me do that. 15. That's a 17.
You don't have to be a 12, so you can tell by the puckering kind of palm print that this is definitely a Triton male.
And he's probably, maybe Nick's born.
Well, that's what the robe is for. It's glittery.
Oh, the robe is glittering?
The robe is
That might
glittery.
be, that may be.
Might be part of it. It might just be he's Nick's born and also has a Nick's born robe. You don't know.
Okay, so here's the description. A black or dark blue robe embroidered with small white or silver stars. 6 stars located on the robe's upper front portion are particularly large. While wearing this robe, you can use an action to pull off one of the stars and use it to cast magic missile.
But we don't know if that's actually what it is. I will, though, because I will cast Identify.
Alright, if
Okay.
you'd like to.
Yeah.
I hold it up to you.
Yeah, I will cast Identify.
All right.
Use my
Is that an
bardic knowledge.
attunement? It'll say if it requires attunement. Very rare requires attunement.
While you wear the robe.
Here we go. Looking at the right card. Yeah, it requires attunement. So someone would have to like spend an hour
So what is it?
meditating
So
over
it is actually.
It is what it is. It is what the card is. I didn't just like whip the card out for nothing. It's an actual robe of stars. I'm not coy with magical items.
At least we know. Where could someone?
You know,
acquire
this would be this. I would think that would be a thief item.
Yeah, it definitely looks like an item that's it'd be difficult to sneak around in something that's starry and glittery.
Yeah, but the magic missile part.
Could also just be something to hold on to and one day cash in.
Yeah.
I have a disguise soft once a day, so I might be able to use that to sneak in somewhere.
Yeah, that basically like allows you to look like somebody else. It's not like perfect polymorphism kind of shit. But
Yeah, the cloak will still stand out. You can't.
if you don't want
change
someone
the
to
cloak.
recognize you and you want to like pass
Just
by,
duck out and wait, get away with it.
the guards are like, oh fuck that dude. We don't know. We're looking for this other guy.
I don't even know if I can technically wear it.
It'd be draped over your back, weird. So yeah, it's
It would-
wearable, but it wouldn't look good.
So yeah, no. If the thief doesn't want it, I guess it's yours.
I suppose.
All
For
right.
now, I mean, it's something that recharges, so we can use it and then sell it later if we need to, or
I'm
if
not
we want
sure
to.
if I want to adorn it, but I'll think about that.
All right. What time is it now?
219.
Okay.
Thinking it's a good place to stop.
I think so. You've confirmed that a Triton killed them. So the question is
Which
where
Triton?
to proceed? Are you going to go trek out to the Coral Temple? Is there any point to still trying to talk to Lycos the Bald, or do you feel like you've gotten the dog confirmed that he recognized the smell on the cloak, and it's a Triton handprint?
Was it identifiable whether it was a male or female?
It was a
Yes,
male. It was a
male.
male Triton.
Okay.
It was a big dude's hand.
Okay. I still want to talk to the sun priest just to cover everything, and then we can figure out the temple.
Okay.
Okay with that.
So, one last little random town encounter, and then we can have next week's session where your trip down the coast to go investigate the temple. So, let's see if Lycos the Bald is at the Sun Temple. This is your idea, roll a die 4.
3.
No, he's not. There are 4 plus 2 die 6 local worshippers hanging around doing prayers and churchy things. There is a total of 10 local
Politely ask
people.
if they know where he's at.
Lycos, I think I saw him down in the Agora.
Okay, I can trot over there.
Okay, head back down the Agora, and there is indeed Lycos the Bald hanging out with a bunch of the other philosophers. They're all grumbling because news of Anapsi's death has been spreading across town, and they're all kind of seeming to debate like what the hell they're supposed to do with the town now, and how they're gonna keep themselves alive and going, and also like what should they do to honor him, and what should the funeral thing, and there's like discussion of sending a rider back to Miletus to let them know that this has happened, and see if any of the Council of 12 back in Miletus wants to honor him, since he used to be the leader of the city once upon a time.
When I hear them say that, I mean, I'm walking up to talk to the sun guy. I hear until that, and I tell them that we had delivered a message and that we were supposed to bring back a reply. You know,
To Euramides.
to your media.
Euramides, eh?
Euramides.
I've heard of Euramides.
You're a tomato.
How can I help?
I basically tell them everything we've discovered, everything
Okay.
we've heard, and suggest and in a polite way suggest that maybe it was a rivalry, and I don't in any way try to blame him. But I'm
No.
saying if he knows anyone who might.
He kind of scoffs at the notion. Is like, yeah, no, none of my supporters would take things that far, despite the fact that Anapsi was annoying as fuck. So
Okay, then
part of me is not sad that he's gone, and is kind of waiting for the day for nature to finally take its course with him. But it's going to be really hard on this town moving forward, and none of my people would have done anything like this.
I then explained the idea that, you know, because of the writing, he may have pissed off a deity or a deity's followers. Does he know anything? Since he seems to be
The fool, if that is the case. You know, we as a society, we take Molestan Society takes great care to always honor Heliod, just to make sure that he doesn't take offense and knock one of our cities into the sea like he did with Olantans so long ago. And Thassa, just the same. You don't really want to be annoying the sea goddess when you're living right off the coast. Hopefully he has not doomed this whole town with his arrogant words, trying to insult one goddess in order to compliment another. I could see that this is probably, yes, what would have caused the offense.
Any idea what kind of offering we could make
I also
when we go to the temple later?
I have a question. Is there a temple to Karamatia?
Karametra? No, there's no Karametra in town. Like I said, you had learned
Maybe
from...
she would help us avenge his death.
Let's work on appeasing the mad goddess first.
Let's see.
It's one way to play it. Keep your angles.
If the Tritons have done this, and Thassa might be angry at the town, that makes him very nervous. He doesn't need that kind of heat coming down on the village, especially with some of the things that Thassa could do if she's still offended. So he wants to make sure that, like,
we appease her properly.
It's over. So he's going to give you a holy relic of Heliod, which I need to think a little bit, but some sort of like golden statue or something that's actually worth a good chunk of coin to take.
No.
Something that the Thassa priests would recognize upon seeing as like an offering, a peace offering, that like, holy shit, the Sun Priest is giving this to us so that we're chill, so maybe we'll stay chill. So yeah, let's say he's giving you like a little statue worth about 400 gold, like in gems, and of like a Pegasus or something that's all like reared back and its wings wide. It's got like bright, like ruby eyes or something.
Oh, don't worry, I already have one of these.
Yeah, no, I will put that someplace safe in my baggage.
Okay.
And so statue of Heliod.
All right. So you've uncovered the murder mystery. You've gotten the clues to at least point you in the right direction, and possibly have figured out why this has happened. You have an offering to potentially get you into the temple without having to sneak in or fight your way in. After returning to Anapsa's home in Krymnos to collect his reply to bring back to Eurymaides, you discovered the body of the world-famous philosopher, murdered in the night by a mysterious Nyx-born Triton. After a brisk investigation, you gathered enough clues to identify the nature of the killer and his motive, sent by Thassa, the sea goddess, to avenge a perceived insult in an unfinished poem. Unable to travel directly to the neighboring Triton village, you have instead struck upon a plan to go to the nearby coastal temple of Thassa with an offering from the cult of Heliod to ensure peace between Krymnos and the Tritons remains stable and that Thassa is fully appeased. It is now shortly before the hour of dusk on the 22nd day of Polydrysian. The tide has gone out, making travel to the temple along the coast possible until midnight. Do you wish to go ahead now or wait until morning? And I guess we should start off with a roll of initiative.
Yeah.
Initiative.
What you got?
Holy shit.
Just a raw die 20 roll.
Oh shit, I got 5.
19.
16.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Micah gets to roll for your whatever random encounters you might have in this one.
We're fucked.
Okay, so
The ranger is in charge of the encounters. We're screwed.
Well, I am the ranger. I mean, I'm good enough.
okay, so you were at the Agora when we left out last time, so you're gonna wait until morning to make your push.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleepy. Spent all night debating.
I want to go visit my friends before we go. This evening.
His new friend.
My new friends.
His only friends.
Since you're at the Agora, one of the philosophers who was there arguing with what's his name, Lycos, before he went off, as like the elder of the Anapsian school of philosophers, is a guy named Caius, who has one of the larger noble estates up on the hill. He invites you all to come and join him for food and wine, and he'll let you have a place to sleep.
That's cool. And she looks at you. Behave. But yeah, Alia's off for sleeping in a warm bed or a room.
Yeah. He's hosted Lagona Centaurs before, so he's got like a special civilized manger, I guess you could call it. All right. So, do you want to go along with them to the dinner, or are you going to stop by the amphitheater on the way?
I want to stop by the amphitheater.
Okay. Well, it's about dusk, so it's mostly shutting down around this time. You can find Alias, the theater director, backstage talking with some of his theater troupe. No sign of the chorus or Krios, the undead fellow with the mask.
So I want to greet Alias.
Oh, Diamos, you join us again.
My companions, they want to go to Thassa's temple. Could you tell me anything about it? Is there anything I should steal while I'm there?
Oh, there's probably a few things there to steal. Word of your discovery over the murder has been spreading around town. So I've had a chance to do a little digging of my own, and had Bysaeus here, who is the one Triton actor that you saw in his acting troupe, head down to the village to collect a little information. Bysaeus steps up and he basically tells you that earlier this morning, the priest temple, a Triton by the name of Dardanos, had put out a call to the people of the village, all the Thassa followers there, who are most of the villagers, to come up to the temple because a Messiah has arrived. He knows that the noble, the Baron Galaton, who keeps an eye over the town, owns it, so to speak. He's not part of the Thassa cult, but he knows he's gone up there too to check it out. So if you do go there, you might keep an eye out for Galaton, because he might be of help. Let's see, he could also offer you a map.
I would love a map.
Which basically just means you get to look at the map in the book.
And can you tell me anything? Have you heard anything more about this Messiah?
No, nothing at all. That's kind of a completely left field sort of announcement to be hearing from a sea priest. There you go. It gives you a map that you can take back to your friends. Basically, you can look at, reference the downwards from the sides, kind of really more, because the cave entrance would be pointing to the south. The stars, the little circles with a star in it, those are marked position for guards. While you're looking over the map, Alias asks exactly what are you planning to do at the temple? Do you tell him about the golden idol?
Yes.
Kind of stuff.
I tell them about the golden idol, and they say I don't really care about Lycos and this exchange of things.
No, the Heliod priesthood is arrogant, and I worry about them trying to use this whole situation to just increase their own political power. Now he tells you that in total there's 2 priests, 1 human and 1 Triton. Each has 9 acolytes of each race, and there'll be a total of 5 guards there. And then it could be anywhere between 13 to 30 commoners on hand. In fact, roll 10 plus 3 dice 6, and we'll determine how many commoners are at the temple right now.
7 plus 10.
Okay, so there's a total of 17 villagers at the temple, along with 9 human acolytes, 9 Triton acolytes, 2 priests, 1 of each race, and 5 Triton guards, is what he tells you in terms of what he believes is there.
I do not like this do not like the way this situation sounds.
Well, what is the purpose for what are you going to the temple to do? If this Messiah person is the same Nyx-born Triton that you suspect killed Anaps, are you going there to kill him? Or
My companions seem to just want to deliver this idol and try and make peace, but I'm very skeptical that this is a good plan. I feel like we are being used in some way, or being caught up in the foolishness of Lycos and their cult.
Well,
And I dislike them.
I would advise you to return back to your companions and consult with them before proceeding any further. The idol does give you an easy way into the temple, though, without having to resort to the use of a large amount of stealth or combat.
Very well. I thank you for the map and your invaluable information.
Stealth.
I shall return to my companions and relay this information. And as always, I will be seeking to benefit Phoenix and our cult in any way possible. I am just looking out for an opportunity to do so without alienating my companions.
There is actually an opportunity of something that you could do after I put a little thought, since you had asked earlier last night about if there are any sort of jobs that I had to offer. And I have one. It could wait until after you resolve this issue with Anapsi's murderer, though. But and it would be helpful if you had brought your companions along, because it's probably more than a one-man job. But we can talk about that more later.
Very well. I look forward to speaking further. I shall return to my companions now.
Okay. Well, meanwhile, while he stops and talks up there, y'all make it up to the top of the hill. Caius has a nice, like a much larger, much more ornate, two-storied house compared to Napsi's little modest home, which is still like opulent and rich compared to your average peasant, obviously. But they have, like laid out some tables. He's got plenty of pretty servant girls, like large family. His wife's pretty with big, tall, made-up bouffant kind of black hair and ornate dresses, and you're able to refresh yourselves. Mm-hmm. He complains while y'all are talking about Lycos wanting to have an Apsi's funeral here in the town of Krymnos, whereas he and the Anapsians believe that Anaps should be taken back to Miletus so he can have a proper burial as a head of state, or former head of state, since he used to be leader of the country. And so that's the main stuff that's being talked about. If there's anything you want to ask, or if you're just going to enjoy the scenery and wait till he gets back.
I'll join the discussion, but on the side of sending him where he should go.
Okay, so you're in support of the idea of taking him to Miletus and not letting him have the funeral here in town.
That would be in line with destiny, I would think.
Okay. Well, you arrive in the midst of this discussion. Talk. Make a plan. You have a map to a temple. You have to figure out. You make some plans right now. Exactly what do you want to do?
My plan's pretty simple. Go in and make the offering and see where it goes from there.
Approach.
I do not.
By land or by sea?
Oh, we'll just walk over there.
I do not trust these Triton and these people. If something goes wrong, we could be greatly outnumbered and meet our doom. And
or we could not go and possibly doom the town. Yeah.
Well,
We could be cautious about it, but we could still need to make the offering.
we could be. I mean, we can always run.
what is our plan if things go wrong?
Find our way out.
I suppose that is the only option.
We're going to make an offering. It is not normal, or it should not be normal to want to smack somebody who's there to make an offering for your deity.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we don't take the bait if they get insultive or in our face.
I,
We can hold our tempers. We should be no problem.
Be respectful to the god. As reluctant as I am.
Believe me, I don't want to stay in the cave any longer than I have to. But let's go ahead.
Okay. I have a.
No, you want to show
I have a
everyone the
plan.
map and stuff? Since...
Yeah, you didn't you take it back? Right?
Oh, I did? Did I?
Yep.
There it is. Okay, yeah. So he can show you the layout of the cave. Temple complex. Y'all would be coming in from this direction. Whatever beach there is ends. So there, without a boat, there's going to be some section of swimming to either get to this dock. But the main entrance to the temple comes in through. There's kind of like a little bridge over the water here.
Can you swim?
Yeah.
This is basically the human section, and this is.
She doesn't. She likes swimming. She just doesn't like boats.
There's also a Hempelkamp Stample, which is like a water horse. That's got a tunnel that goes out there that way. But
When you say water horse, that's not a creature. That's a
Seahorse.
Okay.
They're basically seahorses.
bigger and more stout. But yeah.
Okay.
They're rideable seahorses, basically. They look like.
Well,
If we go during low tide, we should be able. Shouldn't have too much of a problem getting in and getting out.
All right.
Which low tide was the plan anyway. At least from last week.
is it like a cliff face?
Are y'all going to take
Really well.
your wagon driver with you, just to have extra body around?
To have our things so that we don't have to.
Well, the beach is not going to be good for taking the wagon,
Yeah.
because as soon as the tide comes up, and if y'all are in the temple, wagon will be gone, the horse will be stranded and drowned, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, we can leave the wagon at probably this guy's place. He probably would do it.
I can leave it in the down there where it is right now. Like there's not a bunch of like street crime in this town.
Okay,
So
I'm fine with that. I have her character sheet.
okay, so you'll need to collect her before the morning.
Yeah.
How tall are Tritons?
Human
Yeah,
size
fire
probably. Let's see,
Just looks like a scout.
probably on the taller side. Would be my guess, because that's like everything in D&D. It's a power fantasy, so everyone gets to be 6'6".
Except the halflings.
I said the centaur was like 6. The short centaur.
Halflings are still
Aiming
very
for
useful for their size. I mean, like
Yeah.
there was this.
Well, I like how D&D does halflings. They're
Slightly
specifically-
shorter than humans, averaging about 5 feet tall. All right. Tiny Triton.
And then we have what, a 3 foot tall satyr with us.
Yep. No, satyrs aren't that short.
3 inches tall. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I played a frost pixie from Rifts for an entire 8-year campaign, and she was 12 inches tall.
Yeah, they're more closer to humans. They range between 5 and 6 feet in height.
Like I said, they've genericized everything.
Okay, so you'll collect your wagon driver, Elsha.
Neither. Or
Anything else you want to do before you head off to bed?
yes, I would like to adorn the robe if that's all right.
Okay.
To begin attuning with it.
You want to, assume you spent your hour attuning with the robe of stars.
It's the robe.
Alright.
So what? And
Basically, you'd say just the act of cleaning the ink stain off is, like, probably enough time to, like, get to know it. Become bonded with it. Mystically. Okay.
Likes you.
it really does.
Alright,
It's
so you're
very
gonna...
fitting.
So you attune yourself to your robe.
Get my rest in.
Get
all my stuff
down
back.
to bed. Alright, Aaliyah.
Alia.
Elia. Roll a die 8.
That's never a good sign.
We got a lion and a lion.
4.
You have a dream in the night of a star falling from the heavens to fall at your feet, and a great explosion of light, and you wake up.
Great. I think the goddess is saying hi. She doesn't know her goddess yet.
Alright, so morning comes. You head out.
Yawn.
It's slightly before dawn, but you want to get a good start. Caius has his servants make sure you're all up and out the door in time to get down to right as the tide starts to go out. on the way to the beach, waiting down there, you see Lycos the Bald and a couple of his cultist servants, acolytes, and a couple of guards dressed in Heliod colors and bright golds and whites and stuff, and shiny little helmet with a crest on it. And Lycos bids y'all luck on your journey, wishes you well, and just in case, he hands you that.
Scrotal protection. Is this one I have to roll on, or is there?
It's automatically queued for Celestial.
Thanks, it's toilet paper.
Yeah, it's the protection.
And basically for the next born, since the next born would be counted as a celestial being. Alright.
Red.
Protect with all the other scrolls.
So, it's a quick little jaunt down the beach. Just a couple of hours. It wouldn't even be that if it was just you going by yourself, but you got these Shlomos coming with you.
I
We should ride on
want
your back.
to travel stealthily.
They're actually, her armor.
Okay,
actually
so
has
you want to take your time heading down there. Within limits, because this is a...
We're going to be there by tide.
Exactly. Well, it still gives you several hours. Micah, since you rolled the lowest, Sebony has the bad luck that controls the party's random encounter. Roll a die 8.
Die 8. Oh,
Goes
3.
hard.
Okay. Well, this one's fairly simple and straightforward.
Alright.
And since you're going stealthily, up ahead, just as dawn breaks, there's these, kind of crumbling limestone cliffs on one side of you, and there's just this narrow stretch of shitty beach. And up ahead, you see a tree that's kind of growing sideways out from the cliff towards the top, and nested on it, roosting, are some sleeping blood toll harpies.
Ooh.
There's only one of them.
Oh,
you guys.
okay. That's not bad.
Blood toll harpies in this game are a little bit different from harpies in standard D&D. Standard D&D harpies are instead called sirens because they're sexy and they'll entice guys. These are just more like bloodthirsty
Hags.
vulture chicks, that aren't pretty at all.
Vultures with tits.
Maybe they're pretty to somebody who
Titty
knows who they
vultures,
are.
but even the tits are nice to look like because they're covered in shitty vulture feathers.
I am the beholder.
They're just kind of there.
Yeah, let's kind of try to sneak by.
All right.
Wait, can I take a quick perception check to see if I can see if we can take it?
What do you mean?
Well, it's sort of I feel like it's my duty to prevent this aberration from causing any kind of harm to anyone. As a ranger.
He wants to murder Hobo it.
Kind of do.
No, you do have a longbow, and it is snoozing. You could try to shoot it once you're
Do
within
you think we
close
should
enough.
pass without engaging?
Well, I guess
I
that's
wouldn't
for
mind.
y'all to whisper.
Yeah.
If y'all sit around talking about it too much, it might very well wake
I
up.
would prefer to sneak by if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to hear us no matter what. But okay, let's try to sneak by. Just keep your bow out and shoot it if you wake up.
Well, it's up above you. Let's see. It's only got a passive perception of 10.
Okay, so it's pretty...
So all you need, each of you have to just beat a 10 with a stealth roll.
I got...
So if you don't have the stealth skill, you still use your dexterity modifier.
Alright.
If you get the stealth skill, you also get a proficiency bonus.
Let's just stick to business then.
So
The centaur's
in
gonna
order,
roll.
first go.
The centaur's going to roll a 1. No, a natural 20.
All right, centaur sneaks by.
How the hell did the centaur?
Like a ghost in the night, just tiptoes along on your little hooves.
Got a +7 on my stealth here.
Got a +4.
That's
All right, you make it past the harpy.
I swear to God. +4 on stealth. Oh, 10.
10.
That's enough.
Oh,
That's
a
not
9.
Dude.
Oh, that's
Also, that's a 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah. All right. You sneak by your harpy.
I swear, that was a 6.
Ali is looking at you. Why are you so noisy?
Right?
The centaur's like... it's the soft sand. Her hooves are like...
Okay. So that was probably around here-ish. You keep moving on. You get to this little patch where the cliffs fall away and the ground evens out.
Could we mark on the map, just roughly, so that we can remember on our way there?
If you want. Okay, anyway, as you're coming down to the edge of where the cliff kind of crumbles away and falls for a bit, you all hear this really loud snoring from up ahead. Like, not human-sized snoring. Something really large is snoring, kind of grumbling.
Guess we sneak around this one.
Let's see. So, I have primeval awareness. So, if I could cast that right now, I could take a guess as to what kind of creature it is.
If that's what the text of the spell is.
I can sense, yeah, here, I got it right here. I can sense, certain... Sorry. I know it's right here. It's actually quite useful.
It's a ranger thing.
It is. I've never actually been a ranger, but I'm really digging it. It's basically just a hunter. Yes, so 3rd level, you can use your action to expend 1 ranger spell slot to focus your awareness on a region around you.
He's 4.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just so I'm a kind of a tank. For 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you are in your favored terrain, which is grasslands. Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, and undead. This feature does not reveal the creature's location or number.
Well, you could do that if you want.
Alright, I go for it. I cast it. Do I know?
Within what was the range?
1 mile.
You definitely detect a celestial presence far up ahead, but it's further ahead than the snoring. Whatever's generating the snoring is not a fae, and it's not a celestial or an aberration.
Or giants coming.
I could scout ahead.
I guess they would. Yeah, giants would count as
How
just normal.
how far are we from the temple?
It's not a beast. You're pretty close. You can once you can see the next ridge of. You're half a mile away at this point.
I can scout ahead.
You're down around here, right towards where the cliff falls away.
Alright.
Go do your ranger thing.
Yeah, okay. I scout ahead with my
DC 15 stealth.
He's using the flippy thug.
It doesn't actually do anything. It just gives me a +1 bonus to saving throws, and I can use magic missile when I'm attuned to it, and I can disappear into an astral plane and then reappear. That's it. That's all I
Kind of like a Misty Step, Phase Step
kind of deal. Yeah.
Then you have the magic missiles.
So I stealth ahead and I try to scout to see what's up there. 7 + 4. 11.
Okay,
You do the Han Solo thing.
Damn it.
you come across some boulders that have been blocking y'all's view.
Uh-huh.
You accidentally kick a rock, create some noise, and the big drunken Cyclops that's just sitting there. He's got a half-empty barrel of wine in one hand. He starts to blink and wake up, because he heard the noise, because he didn't roll very good on stealth.
Does he see me?
Yeah.
Alright. Can I talk with him?
Sure, if you want to try.
Alright. I look up and I greet him, and I give him my name, and I tell him I ask if we can pass. Very
Are
respectfully.
we close enough to see what he's doing right now, or still?
Yeah, you're far enough back. You don't see what he's talking to, but you see him kind of on the side of this boulder.
I trot up and join him.
I want to try and sneak around.
Yeah, you can sneak. I'm
behind
trotting.
him with my stealth.
And
Get in position in case something goes wrong.
The healer is getting behind the tank
Thank you.
with her spear. It's just funny the centaur's looking around the cat.
You have a spear?
That's her primary weapon, spear and
dude.
shield.
Okay, well, the Cyclops is a little confused. Is like, little cat man, try shoot me.
No.
Well, not if you don't hurt me.
Okay, you woke me up. Oh, I have headache.
So it
Best cure
seems-
for headaches, go back to bed.
I would go back to bed, but my wife threw me out of my house.
When you were sleeping quite comfortably here, you could probably just crawl back up. They didn't notice.
The sun's coming up.
We're off to the temple, so if you don't mind us wandering off.
One of you just make a general persuasion check just to see if he's gonna be cool with you passing. DC 12. If you don't have the persuasion skill, you can just use raw charisma.
Oh, well. Nope.
Nope.
I ain't good at that thing.
I have a +1 to charisma.
He rolled better than I did.
All right, let's see. I ask him if we may pass by peacefully.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, 16 + 1.
Okay, the Cyclops will let you pass.
Thank you. Oh, and what was your name, sir?
Urab.
Urab. Hopefully we'll meet again.
Ourob.
Urab.
Chop.
Alright, so I'm kind of watching this from the corner, so I come join them when I see that everything's cool.
Alright, so beach ends
Poor guy.
against the cliff. Even with the tide low, at some point you're going to have to swim a little tiny bit to get over to that dock.
Okay, I want to cast...
Or are you going to want to try to go in through the main entrance? Or are you going to try to get up onto the dock?
Let's go to the main entrance. We're here on peace.
I want to cast Disguise Self
Alright.
and look like a Triton.
Yeah, you're the right size.
Well, the sky self can also make you appear slightly smaller or taller, just within certain limits. It doesn't actually change your height, it just makes you look smaller.
This is within a foot, basically.
Alright, well, it's a goodly little swim. I guess the ocean's in fairly good, like, it's not choppy, stormy weather or anything, so I don't think I'm going to need to make y'all make athletic checks or anything. As y'all swim up past the dock, though, hanging from a post at the end of the dock, you will notice hanging dead by his neck is a man in a bright white priestly robe with like a blue collar.
Perception check to see what kind of worshipper he is.
Well, I mean, judging from the coloring and like y'all are familiar with Milesian society, like he looks like that's what a Thassa priest would wear.
Thassa.
And it's the human Thassa priest apparently is hanging dead.
How old does the body look?
Like it's not been dead very long. It's not all rotting apart or anything. It's
One of the acolytes screwed up.
I mean, it's been like roughly 24 hours since things got weird at the temple, so you can say maybe he's been dead about a day. If you want a specific amount of hours, and you want to get out of the water and climb up on the dock to look at him.
Nope.
Can I take a look around the surrounding area to see if there's any people laying in wait?
Well, as you get too much further past the dock, there are two guard tritons on hippocamps flanking the entrance to the sea cave. So I mean, you'll soon be within view of people anyway. So
Sneaking in is not really going to work.
That's fine. We can just talk with them.
Yeah.
We're here on business.
Yeah, I swim up and greet them and let them know that we're here to make an offering to the temple.
I'm holding back.
Okay.
Observing.
Swimming underneath the water. Little snorkel.
Do you have any ranged weapons?
I do.
not that's going to be any use while y'all are all treading water
Yeah,
right
I was
now.
gonna say like
You're not
Very vulnerable.
you're not a sea ranger.
It's okay. So you centaur, you're like somewhere around here. Get this guard to swim up to you. You're talking to them. So by hanging back, you're like lurking, like around the legs of the dock or something. What about you, Lion Man?
Mr. Cat in the water.
Where am I again? I'm right here.
I'm over here talking to the guards. Being the nice person.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guard will ask, "What do you mean by offering? What kind of offering?"
Well, we're making a offering of sacrifice to Thassa.
But of what? Let me see.
Show him the
Idol.
idol.
I'm sure Dardanos would want to see this. Very well. Follow me.
Okay.
Are you going to come back from your hiding spot, or are you going to like take some sneaky alternate way into the temple? Or are you going to go with the main group?
Just don't get hurt, because we can't help you.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You're on your own if you want
I want to try and sneak behind and follow at a distance.
Okay.
In the water, do you what you like I said, like
no.
it's like they'll detect you. You're not like good enough to be sneaky in water yet, I would say.
Both gonna turn around or?
Well, like I said, She and him are with this one guard here. There's another guard here who will spot you as soon as you're too much further out here. There's really no way to hide yourself. It's morning now. The lights
This is
coming
not
up.
this is not a sneaky expedition.
Okay.
If you wanted to sneak in, I'm saying before you come within visibility while you're still kind of hidden on that side, do you want to climb up on the dock and come in a back route into the temple instead of going into the main entrance? Or do you all want to go together?
Going together would be preferred. But
It's your call.
Yeah, I want to sneak in.
All right.
rule number 1, broken. Again.
So, since you got higher initiative, we'll deal with beginning as what you are dealing with first. So they lead you in the back underneath this bridge, a couple guards with torches looking down on you all meanly, and up into the sanctuary of Thassa. This isn't deep, this is like kind of a shallow, like wading pool area. There's 17 commoners. Up by this statue, there's a, wearing the same kind of robe as the priest out here, there's a Triton priest. This must be this Dardanos guy. And it's kind of surrounding him in a semicircle are his acolytes.
Okay.
As you're walking in, he's making some like big proclamation speech. Where did I? Or basically, as you're walking in, he's just saying a bunch of stuff about like this great holy war to come between land and sea, now that the Messiah has been sent by Thassa to avenge the slights of the land dwellers.
Well, I will.
Towards the back of the crowd, also though, yeah, there's one other. There's a Triton and noble garb, flanked by a couple of Triton guards of his own.
Is this where
There's a statue of Thassa, and at the foot of the statue,
where would it be a place to make offerings?
at the statue itself,
Okay.
there's just got like a little thing at the bottom.
I politely trot over there.
Okay, as you're walking up with the guards, escorting you, the noble guy stops you, is like, what's going on here? Who are you?
Hey, Malia, I'm here to make an offering to the goddess.
Why?
In the name of peace.
Well, I'm not sure what kind of peace we're gonna have. Some stranger showed up to the temple yesterday, and Dardanos has lost his damn mind and is turning my villagers into a bunch of crazy fanatics as we speak.
Well, maybe my peace offering will appease the goddess and not him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This might give me an opportunity to get the crowd under control. I'm probably gonna need y'all's help. Okay, so basically here's the problem. So instead of walking in here and having a big combat against all these people, you're going to have a chance to do a bit of a skill challenge to resolve this whole situation. The key is you got to win control of the crowd away from Dardanos. And so we're going to have a bunch of opposed persuasion or performance checks. You can use either one. If you don't have either, you still can just roll a raw charisma. Each of you, Elsha, since she's with you, I've been forgetting to ask what she's been doing. That's my own fault. Galaton will each make rolls in a certain order, and then Dardanos will have an opposed roll. Whichever side gets the most successes at the end will have control of the crowd. And if you can get control of the crowd away from Dardanos, Galaton can have him arrested, and you'll have an easier time getting to see the Nyxborn. And so,
I was kind of hoping to just do the offering real quick, but okay, because I got a plan for the offering.
well, that's like,
Okay,
you're in the middle of a situation. This guy is like super hostile to landlubbers.
Ooh.
Bringing an offering from the sun god to him directly is not gonna really.
Well, no, I wasn't going to give it to him. I wanted to actually do it at the.
You know, you will still have an opportunity to leave the altering at the thing. This is Galaton. The danger right now is that this guy is like trying to start a bunch of like weird religious fanatic
He's trying
shit.
to start a fight.
Trying to start a fucking holy war, thinking he can use this Nyxborn, who's not here in this room, is somewhere else in the complex, as a figurehead to unite and gain power for himself and start war and shit. So,
Great philosophical quotes.
Yeah.
okay, so
Give me my bardic inspiration.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's see.
I can't use it on myself. Makes the fucking sense.
You got the high inspiration of 19. Let's see. Dardanos. He rolls a 5. Okay, so a hero side will go first. Galaton, our noble.
What is your persuasion performance?
He steps up in front of the crowd and, here, friends, let me speak. And then he says some pleasant things about how they need to listen to reason.
Let her do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone's getting a turn, regardless of your skills.
I'm giving I'm giving bardic information to him and bardic information to the
Okay,
satyr.
good.
She's got the good roll skills.
Yeah.
All right. So, and since you're controlling her, she'll follow your character on your initiative turn.
She likes the cat.
Okay, so the noble, he's got a persuasion of +5. So Galaton makes it. All right, initiative 1, either persuasion or performance, or just roll a raw charisma.
Okay, target number?
11.
No, I made an 8.
Even with that, even with your bonuses.
Yeah, I rolled crap.
All right, the crowd does not respond very well to Alia. Dardanos, he's like tries to get back control of the crowd. Listen to me, you fools! Do not listen to these outsiders. Where's my card?
What exactly are we trying to persuade them to do again?
Be peaceful.
Okay.
To not listen. You're helping the noble regain control of the townsfolk from this crazy priest who thinks a messiah has come. Unfortunately, most of the townsfolk are followers of Thassa, so they are easily swayed by the guy. But because y'all showed up with a big flashy offering, it gave him an opportunity to try to wrest control away. And say, look, the people from the land, they're not our enemies. They're trying to make peace, all that kind of shit.
So did he get it?
I can't find my fucking priest card.
No.
I'm gonna have to look in the book! Ah! Oh well.
I really
Delay a game, 5-yard penalty?
I really like how a lot of the new characters have their own, like...
Okay, he's only got a persuasion of +3. Oh, he does not do a good job at winning the crowd back.
Easy.
Sweet.
Easy, baby.
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thankfully, the satyr has a +5.
Initiative 2 would be you. You get to make your persuasion roll to try
He's
to...
not here.
Oh, I'm not here.
Oh, yeah, you're not.
The party got separated.
Okay, well, since it is your turn... Okay, so you're off here.
So, I merely, once I have sneaked up here, I look like a Triton.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and come up to where the guard is, and just say, I heard there's this new Messiah. What's going on?
Oh, greetings, brother. You've gotten here late. But yes, go to the main chamber.
Thank you. What can you tell me about this new Messiah?
Not much. He arrived here yesterday morning. He's been meditating in the library since then.
Very good, very good. Thank you. I look forward to joining this new movement and cleansing the land of these fools.
Okay.
There's the library.
So, yeah, so what do you want? You still have a little, because like I said, they've been talking for several minutes, so effectively you have a few minutes to play around with here. So from here, you've talked to the guard. Are you just going to saunter your way like you're going to the sanctuary? And, oh, look, there's a library right here. Or what?
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing.
Or go back and see what's going on in this back section.
No, I want to go ahead and go keep going past the guards.
Okay, the guards, like, they already saw you talking to the other guards, so they think you're cool. So the question is okay, so you come back in, you're on the outside of the crowd, you see the big debate going on, and then you're, like, back to the library
Can
door.
anyone see me by the library door?
This guard might. You can make a stealth roll to try to, slip in. Let's say...
I don't want to slip in.
What do you want to do?
I want to cover the door in oil.
What?
Okay.
Oh yeah. The party is going in two separate, complete directions here.
I'm not playing. Just in case, so that if I
You're trying to
decide
do it the peaceful way.
that I need to light that on fire, that's it's all ready to go.
Okay. So you without anyone looking, you just dash some oil on the door and keep moving.
Yes.
All right. Well, okay. Make a stealth roll just to see if anyone notices you doing this.
Great. Got plus
I'm
7.
just polishing the door.
Plus 7. 15 plus
Ooh.
7.
Okay, no one noticed you do that.
Weird.
All right.
They just grab the door handle and then with their hands covered in oil. And they're like, that's normal.
Okay. Dardanos. He failed, so his DC goes up.
Can I roll initiative for Elsha?
No, she runs on your initiative.
Ah.
I already told you that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's cool.
So basically, you get to roll
9.
twice here in a second.
And
Hell yeah.
Dardanos is not doing well at holding the crowd. Okay, so initiative 3, first Sebni and then Elsha.
Alright. So I go up to them.
You need to beat a DC of 13.
Easy. So,
You don't need to tell me everything you say unless you have something in mind.
Yeah, you have you get a plus D4 if you need it.
Plus D4?
Don't roll now. Roll first. If you fail, then you can add D4.
Oh shit, I actually don't have my D4. Thank you.
Well, there's tons of extra D4s around here, so don't worry about it.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway.
Roll the beat a 13 because you got a plus 2.
Oh, yes!
And he beats a 13. All right, Elsha.
Elsha has a plus
No, wait a
5.
minute. Before Elsha, Dardanos gets his... Oh, goddamn. Dardanos is really sucking with his own fucking followers. Okay,
Stuttering.
Elsha's roll.
And she gets a
And
plus
because
5.
he's succeeded, that knocks the DC down to 11. Every time you succeed, the next DC is lower, but if you fail, it goes back up a little bit.
Alright, so charisma is plus 3 and persuasion is plus 5. Hell yeah. Come on, Elsha. 20!
25.
Ooh.
All right.
Good job.
Dardanos is feeling like he's being thwarted by these upstart landlubbers.
We built this satyr in the...
And he does manage to actually roll good enough to get one little tiny success. To your surprise,
Come in peace. Earth.
one of the other villagers steps out of the crowd and also starts to speak. She's a female Triton, wearing kind of scholarly
Oh, she's from the village.
kind of robes. And it is, in fact, yes, Anopsy's very last apprentice, Kirky. And she joins your party as she rolls. Who wants to control a Kirky and who wants to roll Kirky?
Guess
She's
I'll-
a lifelong companion. Be careful about choosing her because she's going to become your lifelong companion.
I think it
She's
works.
going to be your Gabrielle to your Xena if you take her on.
Well, it's gonna be 2 Gabrielles. It's just gonna be fucking funny.
Or you can let him have her. Or you're not really standing with the others, and you already got your psychic, so I guess it kind of falls to you.
Yeah, I get a psychic.
All right, so Kirky gets a roll, and she's like, "Wait, these people are right. This is wrong. You shouldn't have had Maxie's murder was a bad thing and all that kind of shit." So anyway, so you got to beat a DC of 9.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Now, my turn to Centaur? Alia's turn.
No, well, actually, yes. There is one final check that the group gets to make, and you get to make it because you're a bard. Dardanos has his last roll, which is a failure.
I got
You don't even really need to make it, though. Like, the crowd is very obviously on y'all's side, because y'all got 3 successes to his 1.
Nice.
There's no way he can catch up. Alright, so you've successfully...
Charmed the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Galaton has his guards arrest Dardanos and haul him back off to his priest quarters to be held until they can do something with him.
I look at the noble and say, may I please take my offering, huh?
If you still wish to, go ahead.
I go up to her altar, pull out the idol, lift it up, and I actually wrote this down. O wise and merciful Thassa, I, humble bard, by request of Lycus the bard, do offer this humble offering in the name of Crimnos, so there may be peace once more.
Alright, and you place it on the altar?
Yep.
Alright.
Do I
There's
need to
like a
roll
little... No, there's no need to roll. There's a act...
What's up?
Let me think. Is that worth the piety reward?
She's hoping that's destiny because she wants to. The way I'm thinking it is.
Well, no, like war between land and the sea is definitely not part of destiny.
That's kind of. She's thinking that war in general isn't part of destiny. She thinks everybody needs to. She's beginning to get the idea that everybody needs to come together to face some great evil that the goddess is coming up from the below to fight.
I'll reward you with 1 point of piety.
1 point of piety.
And as of now, the group has... Okay, so you won over 17 commoners, so that's 170 XP.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let me write this down.
Yeah. We don't do level in mid-adventure, though?
Well, like, if we're close to being able to get to the end of the scene, and we have time, we can do leveling up for those who will have the opportunity to.
Well, remember, I was only 20 points behind.
Yeah. Well, no, this will be enough. So that's 170 experience for winning over the crowd, 450 for defeating Dardanos. Largely just because this dice really seems to like y'all and rolled low over and over again.
Yeah.
The acolytes and guards don't count. You didn't really confront them. So anyway, so what would that be? 500, 600...
Okay, that sounded like enough for 2 levels almost, since I was just shy of 1.
Yeah, 620 divided by how many people? We got 5 people here now, though, because we got 2 sidekicks.
Let's see.
Hang on, because sidekicks, there's the disadvantage to them. They do drain XP, but also it's kind of fun getting to level up your sidekicks and stuff and improve them too. So it's kind of a give and a take. Calculator 620 divided by 5.
I don't know if I deserve an equal portion since I've kind of just been sneaking on the side.
It's that nature of the game.
You play a role.
You did something. You tried to do some stuff. You snuck around. You played your own little part, even if it wasn't in the main challenge. Anyway, so 124 experience points each. So each of the play main characters and each of the side characters get 124 XP.
She doesn't get the level, but I do. Gene of all trades! Yay! I've been looking forward to this skill. I didn't realize what time it was.
115?
Yeah, actually, I spent half the morning looking up Greek prayers of forgiveness to try to come up with that. Well, I mean, here's the problem. If I'm lucky, I'm a 12 in intelligence and wisdom.
Yeah.
In real life. She's a fucking 16 in both. I've got to think ahead. I'm going to play my character smart. So I was like, all right. If I get to the freaking temple, I'm going to make this prayer. What am I going to pray? I got to read it down.
That's what kind of makes it a little easier to play, is because you have the ability to have forethought.
Okay.
Preparation.
Now that wasn't the hard part.
Nope. What's the hard part?
There's this Nyxborn guy in the library. You don't have to worry about him being used to be as like a symbol to turn him into like, you know, a figurehead for Holy War. But you can go confront Anapsi's killer if you wish. He's in the library, the now oily doored library.
Doggo's not here with us, right?
No, you didn't need to bring him.
All right.
Like I said, once he smelled the robe, he's identified that the owner of the robe is the person.
I'm going to say in the name of peace, let's just...
You know where he is. You relay this information to us.
Yes. And,
Well, I assume that everything he learned from the amphitheater he told y'all while you were planning.
Just the blah.
yeah.
I kind of want to confront him.
Well, if we do, we should just set the door on fire and...
Yeah, let's...
Is that going to do anything, though? Most of this is still... It'll burn out the door, but isn't necessarily going to kill everyone in the library?
No, this is a...
we could...
This is a place that goes underwater regularly.
Yeah.
But won't someone come out to investigate, and we can just...
Well, you peacefully negotiated the thing down, but like the Galaton and the acolytes that are still there and the guards aren't going to take kindly to setting the door on fire.
Let's actually. I have a good idea. The noble. Galaton, sir. This guy. Would you take care of this in the way that it's fitting for your people and your goddess?
Well, I guess we'll have no choice. We can't just let him stay here forever.
Can we inform him about the murder and that we are under...
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I tell him everything.
Yeah.
I tell him why we're here, I tell him everything.
We are here for
Honesty is gonna...
Yeah.
When we need to be dishonest, that's what he's for.
Hell yeah.
I can hold him for now. It sounds like I need to consult with the leaders of the township of Krymnos. and see exactly what they want to do. Because after all, he murdered one of their citizens, and even though he was created by a goddess, that doesn't absolve him from the act.
If you wish, I can try to put a good word in for whatever your preferred option would be, since you helped us with making peace. Let us work together.
I don't even really know personally what the guy wants. I haven't had contact with him. Only Dardanos and his acolytes had met him. We've only really been told that he might not even be in there for all I know. I showed up just to make sure that like my villagers aren't being abused. And thankfully y'all showed up and we were able to get control of the situation. But
well, let us work together for more peace. Let's see what we can do.
Well, would you all want to go talk to him or come in there with me?
Yes.
Let us accompany you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go with Galaton and your whole little giant crowd. Do you leave any of the sidekicks behind, or are you just all going to jam-pack yourselves into this library?
I will ask my sidekick to just wait outside.
Yeah, and I wish for Elsha to wait with her as well.
Yeah, just
Is there an alternate entrance in? I'm gonna.
The library? I don't believe there was. No.
You got backstab, right? Your thief.
Something like a sneak attack kind of.
Yeah, that's it.
You really should have asked Alias for poison.
Oh, I forgot.
But why don't you stay outside with the other three and attack if needed. If he runs, they'll give you a chance to flank it.
So basically, let the talkers go in.
But that's two talkers go in. And
Yeah, let the tank and the two sidekick chicks. You get to go hang out with the girls in the van, basically.
Chill.
Hey, he's got Scooby.
But yeah, the library has no other entrances. There's like a central table, some pillars, and then there's some like little reading rooms kind of to the back. You can see.
Yeah.
So.
I followed the boss in.
All right. Well, sitting at the long table, you see this Triton man. He's put on a different set of just real basic, like priestly garb. Nothing fancy like a full priest, but the kind of shit like the acolytes are wearing, which most Moleshan priests typically wear white, and they'll have bands of color around their collars or around the cuff of their sleeves to kind of show which god they're specifically attuned to. You know, you have like gold for the Heliod, and yeah, that's like nice bright popping blue for Thassa and all that kind of stuff. And so he's there by the table, and he's reading through the scrolls, and standing to his shoulder is the one surviving human acolyte that's in the temple, since apparently all the human acolytes and the priests were butchered by. I mean, Galaton has some problems to clean up here of his own with his own people and shit. So, but since you didn't really sneak up into the back end, he didn't discover any of that. So anyway, let's see. Without looking up, Nyxborn speaks as y'all come in. You disturb my meditation.
I was waiting for him to.
No, he just this quick statement. He's gonna walk in and you disturb my meditations.
Justice.
So who wants to talk to him?
I was going to wait for the noble to talk. Follow the noble's lead was what the plan was, but.
Oh, I mean, he's bringing you along because he doesn't really know what's going on with this guy. He hasn't met him, and maybe he's like a little awestruck by actually seeing this guy. Because he's Nyxborn, so yes, like every part of him that falls in his shadow is just a star field, and maybe if he has his hood up, you might not even really be able to see his face. It just looks like a field of stars until he pulls his head back, his hood back or something.
Greetings, sir. We are here to seek peace.
And justice.
You have my robe.
Actually, it's outside.
Oh, am I in the room?
Yeah, you're not. So yeah, he wouldn't notice that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You left it at the scene of your murder.
Okay. Now to keep him from turning hostile at the intrusion, since your access to the library was extremely peaceful, just need a DC 14 charisma check of some sort. Enhanced with a skill if appropriate.
Which skill would...
You can make up to 2 tries, but like if the first person fucks it up, the second person can make the roll.
First, in case I need to perform some subterfuge.
Rolled 19.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so you can talk to him.
You need to attune to it.
Okay, so basically,
I'm not using it like that.
the gist is
You're out with me?
Thassa made him to go kill an apse. And then that's it. He doesn't really seem to know what to do with himself. He doesn't really have a purpose because his purpose is fulfilled. So he came to the nearby temple just to try to like find some guidance, and he's been looking through the books here in the library for any information as to finding a way to get back to Nyx, because he'd rather go back to his home. He doesn't want to stay here.
Can I make a... Let me see, do I even have the skill? Can I make a history check to see if I can help?
Yeah.
11.
Plus, or is that with your
That's
total?
with the plus.
Well, like the most general thing you can think of is that there is a great library in the town of Glacion on the other side of the Miletus Peninsula. That's like it's the great repository of knowledge and for this section of the world. And so, if there is anything to be found there, maybe you can find something there.
Well, how about I offer the possibility of, helping this noble here rebuild until you can find something better to do.
Okay.
Help rebuild the people you were built after, basically. However you're gonna put it that way.
You want to ask him anything about like how do you like? It's kind of in y'all's hands if this guy faces justice for the murder, or do you feel that he's kind of innocent in a weird way since...
Actually, Alia would feel the innocent part in a weird way because he was created by a god, a deity, to do a job.
Yeah. And
it's not exactly...
He's kind of just been left as like discarded.
He's fulfilled his fate and he's now set adrift.
How long has it been... Have they been in there?
What do you mean?
How long have they been speaking?
Oh, just barely. And then the doors are open, you can hear everything even if you're not in there.
I grow impatient.
Okay. Alright, so...
Or 70. 70 grows impatient.
So, shape exactly what you want to try to convince this guy to do.
To use his deity granite abilities to help this village prosper.
Okay.
And to meet a destiny.
You get one and only one persuasion roll here to resolve this without him saying fuck it and attacking. And he's really, really tough. So you're only going to get the one chance. You can choose which character does this roll. You can bring in someone from in the back.
The satyr with the +5.
Elsha.
Let's see. You did enough really to help the Nyxborn. You did mention the library, perhaps. But you gave him something I caught as an unforeseen idea. So it's only a DC of 10.
Alright.
Just don't roll low.
Well, also,
you're giving him the inspiration. Alright.
So that's 8 + 5, that's 13.
Alright. The Nyxborn Triton agrees. He will to your idea. He will work with Galaton and help rebuild the village and this temple, and try to do something positive to make amends for what he's done.
Okay.
So,
no fight. Hell yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, good idea. That's why I like you. There's just this one roll, and if you fuck it up, you got to fight a challenge 5 Kraken priest.
Fuck.
So you avoided summoning a Kraken, because if you killed him, he would have summoned a Kraken as his dying act. So you've also inadvertently saved Krymnos from a very destructive fate. So anyway, I'm going back to the calculator here.
That could have gone bad.
Calculator. 1800 divided by 5. Everyone gets another 360 XP.
If I went south, I was going to try and run in with the robe and be like, these guys took the robe, get close and backstab them.
Oh, no.
Probably wouldn't have worked.
Alright, so...
I think that this is what Alia has seen as her destiny, to try to smooth things out, so because obviously her goddess is crawling up from the abyss to fight something, and she's going to need all the help she can get.
To develop balance and neutrality between the...
Well, no, the idea she thinks is because the goddess she's worshipping is literally crawling through hell to come back up and to balance fate. And my job is to help but she doesn't know how. So what she's starting to see is try to ease the conflicts so that everybody can help her when she gets up here to fight whatever the hell she's coming back up here to fucking fight.
Right.
Also, we'll keep note also of whatever random dreams I have you roll, because those are supposed to be oracular dreams. So you having a dream of seeing a star fall from the heavens to your feet and explode in light, that's potentially something you might actually see one day. Depending on the winds of fate.
Star falls from heaven and explodes.
Anyway, so like I said, everyone gets another 360. That should pretty much level everyone up, I would think.
So that
Except maybe Micah.
It should put me at 3.